minions. And welcome back to Tsukihime. I've been excited to get back to this visual novel experience. Both visual and a novel, some might say. It is a novel with visuals. Burunya. Yeah, we're gonna do CL's route, or at least start CL's route. I don't know. I'm a little curious about how far I can get into CL's route it's in one night, because I know for a fact that it shares a lot of scenes with Arquid's route. So we'll see how far we can get. Especially because I can just put on the options to skip parts I've already read. I want to get to the new content. I wouldn't want to... Yeah, it would be... start... Yeah, I want to start from the beginning. Second best route according to you, shit route according to Nasu. Well, we'll see who's right, I guess. Let me get my... I have a flow chart. For this occasion, because I said, you know, the first time I wanted to go through without any sort of help, just to see what I would get, and it's pretty clear the game pushes you super hard towards Arquid. No, this does have a... We don't need to watch the opening again. Skip. So this is the one where we meet CL for the first time. Right? We meet her. She's like doing weird stuff in the garden. She's like pounding... She's like rebuilding the fence. Yes, I did choose that option the first time. Well, let's see. This should be in class? Yes. So we want to go out in the hallway to think about it. During lunchtime, the hall is packed. Students head to the cafeteria or to their favorite places, lunches in hand. Caught in the flow of people, I contemplate whether I should go to the cafeteria or the store. I'm somewhat taken aback at my own leisure. If I have time to waste, it'd be better to go to the cafeteria where Arihiko is. I begin walking towards the cafeteria. On the way there, a familiar face waves and runs up to me. Thank goodness! I've been looking for you, Tono-kun. Oh, CL-senpai, hello. I feel embarrassed for some reason and return her unusual greeting. Yeah, I did hear they changed up CL's route a lot in the remake. Yes, hello. Well, we've already met once today, so I guess it's not proper to say hello. Small file floats onto Senpai's face, as if she had found something amusing. Yeah, now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I avert my eyes and give a lukewarm reply, becoming increasingly embarrassed. I wonder. I should be used to speaking to Senpai like this, but for some reason I'm getting embarrassed. Tono-kun, do you have some urgent business? You seem a bit unsettled. No, nothing like that. I don't, but for some reason her every move feels unfamiliar. I can't calm down. It's nothing. More importantly, Senpai, you said you were looking for me. Do you need me for something? Well, I wanted to thank you for this morning, so I was looking for you. I don't really have any reference for the voices I'm making for these characters, by the way. I've just been kind of winging it based on my impression of them the whole time. So I make Seal's like kind of nasally in my head because she looks like a nerd. For this morning, you mean in the courtyard? Of course. Sorry to ask, but are you going to have lunch? I sigh. Well, people usually eat lunch at lunchtime. That's that top tier writing I've come to expect from this game. I sigh. Well, people usually eat lunch at lunchtime. Great, then we can go eat together. I'll treat you as thanks for this morning. Let's go to the cafeteria. Huh? Senpai smiles, grabbing my wrist. She starts to walk. It's strange enough for a third year like Senpai to walk down the second year hall, but this attracts even more attention. gazes of the students in the hall fall upon Senpai and me, and a murmur of conversation starts. Wait just a second. It's alright, you don't have to. I quickly shake her off my arm. I only did what I did this morning on a whim. There's no need for you to thank me. I draw back from Senpai, well aware of how flushed my face is. There's no need to be so reserved. Work should be rewarded. So please, let me treat you. Senpai grabs a hold of my arm again. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I just couldn't say that I'm embarrassed to be with her because we stand out so much. Come on, there won't be any seats left if we don't hurry. I'll listen to the details after we get to the cafeteria. Senpai starts walking, pulling my arm with a tug. Any further questions would bring more stares from the people around us in the hall. I don't know what Senpai is planning, but I peacefully accompany her to the cafeteria. Almost all the seats in the cafeteria are taken. I had spent about 10 minutes in the hallway, first spaced out, then talking with Senpai. So empty cafeteria seats are pretty much non-existent. I'll stand in line, Tono-kun, so please go get some seats. Is there any food you don't like? If there is, now's the time to let me know. No, there isn't. I'm not picky with food. You'd think a guy with anemia would need to keep his blood sugar up. Very well. I won't take long. Senpai lines up with everyone else. It seems my only choice is to obediently accept that she'll be treating me. But there aren't any seats left. I look around the bustling cafeteria. You can't find even 2 seats at this hour, let alone 2 seats to get there. I sigh. Plain as day is a table with not only 2, not 3, but 4 unaccompanied seats. There's only one student sitting at the table, and it seems he's noticed me while I was looking around for a seat. Yo, Tono! The student vigorously waves his hand as my dear classmate with the dyed orange hair. Oh, it's dyed. I just assumed it's natural because, you know, anime. If we can have a girl walking around with blue hair, I don't think it's too far to assume Arihiko's is natural. My head hurts. But there isn't anywhere else to sit. I have no choice but to return the wave and walk towards the table where my friend is sitting. You're late. I told you to hurry because I've invited a special guest today. What the hell have you been up to? Arihiko begins to complain as soon as we are face to face. Yeah, come to think of it, you did. So who is it? About that. She promised me yesterday she'd come, but she declined this morning. She said she has someone she wanted to thank or something, so she'd be busy this lunchtime. Arihiko sighs as he eats his chikara udon. Someone she wanted to thank. Those words catch my attention. Arihiko, that special guest wouldn't happen to be a third-year student, would she? Whoa! Arihiko's body jumps in shock. A rather energetic girl wearing glasses? Whoa! Arihiko begins quivering. The student at the table around us stands up as if to make a fast escape. Are you psychic? Arihiko points at me fearfully. No, let's use some basic deduction here, Arihiko. No, that doesn't mean I'm psychic. Sorry to keep you waiting. Good to see you found a seat, Tono-kun. There. Senpai arrives with a smile, carrying a silver tray. Arihiko's eyes are wide open in surprise. Huh? Inui-kun? What a coincidence! I still smiling. Senpai takes her seat. Arihiko gives a choked response. Here you go, Tono-kun. Please, eat until you're full. Even after all this time, I still can't shake off her smile. Alright. In that case, thanks for the food. Itadaki delicious mas. Taking Arihiko's dumbfounded stare in stride, I sit down. Yeah, Shiki can see other things, not the future, or other people's minds. Senpai sits in front of me while Arihiko sits beside me. Itadakimasu. Putting my hands together with a clap, I look down at the tray Senpai brought. Itadakimasu. And on the menu is curry rice, and curry udon. I don't get it. Senpai? Yes? What is it, Tono-kun? About this, what's going on? What do you mean? It's lunch, isn't it? What else does it look like? What else, you say? But all I see is curry. Yes, it is curry. Senpai laughs happily. The problem is, they all look like curry. There's 3 dishes. Of Of course! You're a boy, so you eat a lot. I'll just have one, so please take whatever you like. Okay. In that case, I'll take the curry rice and curry udon. What, you don't want 2 helpings of curry rice? What's your problem? The other choice is hell. Make sure to finish it, Tono-kun. After all, you aren't picky with food, are you? I feel like she's messing with it. There isn't a shred of antagonism in Senpai's smile, nor is this some kind of joke. She truly had good intentions. Yes, itadakimasu. I dig into the curry rice with my spoon in despair. And then, Tono-kun. From behind me came the cry of a dead man being reborn. How long are you going to ignore your dear best friend? Arihiko's elbow sinks into the side of my stomach with a thud. Huh? Anyway-kun, do you know Tono-kun? Do I know him? We've been best friends since middle school. My best friend hits the table with a bang for emphasis. Really? The person who helped me this morning was Tono-kun. Oh yeah? If you had told me his name, I would have found him here. So, did this guy do something for you? Yes, he helped me fix my splints. I hate shin splints, but I guess the other kind are okay. Huh? He helped you fix your... God damn it. They make the exact same joke I thought. He helped you fix your shin splints? Arihiko frowned suspiciously. Well, I guess you would consider helping someone fix their shin splints a bit odd. No, fixing splints. Please don't make me angry when I'm eating. Seal-senpai gets angry. It's too late. She's already mad. She seems to be someone you can never tire of watching. Fixing splints. Ah, the splints in the courtyard. You were at it again? You sure enjoy that kind of thing, senpai, but you'd better get off it if you give up. If you keep doing things like that, the teachers will start expecting you to do them. That's alright, I do it because I enjoy it. You shouldn't talk about the teachers like that, you know. They really care about the school. I'm finding it difficult to follow their conversation. Senpai, don't tell me you normally do that sort of thing. Yeah, didn't you know, Tono? Seal-senpai is so handy they call her the shadow president of the student council. No, I was asking Senpai. Wait, never mind. What on earth is the shadow president? It's like Shadow Lady from Marvel vs. Capcom. You gotta hover on her portrait on the character select screen. Is she strong? I ask with my eyes. Yeah, responds Arihiko with an exaggerated nod. She's quite something, totally unlike the student council, which is a student council in name only. She's a third year who will solve anything for you if you ask her. She's even got a fan club among the first years. And if something happens, the teachers all rely on her. There isn't a single teacher who complains about what Senpai does. Arihiko speaks with pride as if he was actually talking about himself. Wow, Seal-senpai sure is amazing. Even the teachers rely on you. I look at Senpai impressed. That's a cute sprite. Ah, yes. Thank you. Senpai turns bright red, embarrassed. Senpai churns her curry rice with her spoon. I guess it's to hide her embarrassment, but it reminds me of the enemy I have to face. Curry rice by itself is fine, but after that awaits curry udon. My doctor warned me not to eat too much, but I don't think there's anything else in this situation I can do. So I start to dig into the rice. Munch munch. Having decided to try to finish one dish quickly, I direct all my concentration to the rice. Meanwhile, Senpai and Arihiko began talking about their own homes for some reason. I already know that Arihiko doesn't live with his parents, but it seems Senpai is also living by herself. Apparently, Senpai's apartment is quite close to school. It's roughly between the main street and the park. So Tono-kun, where do you live? Huh? I silently eat my food when Senpai, peering at me, asks a completely unrelated question. Where? Why do you ask, Senpai? You already heard where I live, right, Tono-kun? I think it's unfair if you don't know where your house is. Unfair? You're worried about the strangest things, Senpai. It's not strange. If I don't know where you live, I can't visit you if something happens, right? I stop eating the curry rice. I have the feeling that something has been said that I should be jubilant about. Visit? You mean you'd come and visit me if I catch a cold or something? No, I wouldn't. I don't have any plans to visit at the moment. What did she mean by this? Smiling, Senpai replies instantly, as if stating the obvious. It seems like the euphoria is premature. Senpai doesn't seem to have any unusual intentions. I see now. That's just the way she is. I guess I have to tell you. Yeah, my house is nearby too, only a 40-minute walk. There's a residential district on top of the hill, right? Just go on a little further and you're there. Oh yeah, you're moving today, right? Aryuko strikes his hand on the desk. Senpai tilts her head slightly. Moving? Tono-kun, were you a transfer student? Huh? Senpai asks a strange question. Aryuko meets my gaze. Listen, I've been here since the first year. We've known each other since then, right? Why are you asking if I'm a transfer student now? But Tono-kun, you moved yesterday, so moving doesn't automatically make you a transfer student. I'm just changing my address, not my school. Until now, I've been living with some relatives in the neighboring town. I'm just going back to my real home, that's all. Senpai, who wears a look of surprise, seems to understand. I see, you've only changed your residence. So now you live in the outskirts of town. Yeah, it's that colorful place on top of the hill. I'm moving there today. Could that possibly be the Tono-san mansion? Senpai asks with some hesitation. Well, do you know anyone else with the name Tono? The Western-style house at the top of the hill is probably seen as something special by residents of this town. I haven't been there for 8 years, but even in my memories, the Tono mansion was ridiculously large. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's the right place for me either, but it's too late now that I'm done moving. You don't seem too happy about it. It's neither good nor bad. I don't quite understand it either. Well, even if it is your house, it's been 8 years, right? I can understand if you're feeling strange. It'll probably feel like someone else's house for a while. I wonder if that's so. I haven't gone back yet, so I don't know. I'm a bit relaxed, since I've always got a refuge at your place. Yeah, right. My house is no refuge of yours. When you come over during the holidays, my sister treats you better than me. That's probably only because Arihiko has terrible behavior, but I refrain from telling him that in the interest of preventing the conversation from getting any worse. To be honest, it's not pleasant to have my home raised as a topic of conversation. It's almost like something really bad happened there once, or something. But that's future knowledge talking. Wow, you two certainly get along well, Senpai peers at Arihiko and me. No way. Me and Tono would never help each other, no matter how much trouble we were in. In other words, we're enemies, mademoiselle. Shut up, Arihiko. Arihiko says in a fed-up tone. I'm getting pretty fed up myself with his pseudo-foreignerisms, too. But your relationship is so good that Tono-kun has stayed over at your house before, right? Doesn't that mean you get along really well? You're wrong, Senpai. That damn Tono is too reserved towards his parents, and he'd come over to my place every vacation. He's reserved toward them because they're taking care of him. That's why he came over to my place, where we conveniently have an empty room. Since he looks pretty decent, my sister took a liking to him, and he shamelessly comes to stay with us without paying a cent. Arihiko's fist trembles as if to say, unforgivable. Taking care, Tono-kun? Arihiko clamps a hand over his mouth. Sorry, I should have thought before I spoke. Arihiko doesn't seem like he does that very often. It's okay. He didn't say anything bad. I couldn't eat my food without looking at Arihiko. Really? Yeah, you're right. If you complained about that, you'll be in for some punishment. Arihiko nods to himself in agreement. His overwhelming optimism is something I am truly envious of. I'm sorry, Tono-kun. Did you not get along with your previous family? No, that's not it. He has no problem with the Arimas. Oh, the Arimas were the family who took care of him. They're really nice people, and from what I could tell, they're a happy family. Even so, he refused to be their adopted kid, and he escaped to my place every vacation. Sheesh, just what were you not satisfied with anyway? There's nothing I wasn't satisfied about. Just that I received so much from them already, I didn't want to be a further burden on them. I finish my rice as I reply. Now, only the curry udon is left. It's okay, Senpai. Sorry for making you listen to something so boring. Not at all. I'm sorry for asking you something so strange. Senpai forces herself to look cheerful. The topic might be fine for a longtime friend like Arihiko, but a complex matter like this would only have been troublesome for Senpai. And to prove my point, Senpai sits there uneasily. Senpai, sorry, but I've got something private to talk to Tono about. Would you mind leaving? Just leave. Don't tell her, don't say, hey, we're gonna go talk over here. Just tell her to leave. Just fuck off. Arihiko has no problems making such an offensive request. Isn't that phrase an indirect, no, a direct way of saying we don't want you, Senpai, so get lost? Yeah, exactly. What do you think you're saying? We can discuss those things anywhere. And Senpai is still finishing her lunch. Despite all the talking with Arihiko, Senpai has finished her rice anyway. No, I understand. Well then, I'll be leaving. Senpai lowers her head in a quick bow and leaves. Only Arihiko and I remain at the table. I sigh. Well, it looks like Senpai was having a hard time too, so it was for the best, but you really were pushing it there, Arihiko. Well, it's not like I had a choice. Anyways, I guess I'll take the role of the guy she ends up disliking. Slurp. Arihiko slurps away at his chikara udon. It seems that it's gotten cold while we were talking to Senpai. Sorry. You were trying to hit on Senpai, weren't you? Of course! She's probably the #1 girl at our school. But if she's the type to care about something like that, then she's not worth it. Oh yeah, I really do have something to talk to you about in private. Question mark? Arihiko's voice turns serious. I split my chopsticks with a snap and begin to eat my udon. What's wrong? Why so serious all of a sudden? I'll let you know right now that I don't have any money. From today onwards, I'm going to be living life as a penniless student. It's not that, damn it. What I want to know is this. What's really going on with you, Tono? What do you mean? You've been at the Arimas since primary school, right? I don't know why, but it's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he calling you back all of a sudden? I see. In his own strange way, Arihiko is worried about me. Well, it turns out your dad is dead, so... He didn't disinherit me, he just kicked me out of the house somehow. Tono-kun, if there ever was a family that kicked their kid out of their house somehow, that's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. Oh, it's a party joke, but it's so boring it's not funny. Arihiko spreads his arms and shrugs. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, all you can really do is laugh. And then he said some cliche line like, never step foot in this house again, or something, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I've never heard why you were disinherited. Who knows? That's something I'd like to know, too. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Grabbing his bowl with both hands, Arihiko drains what is left of his chikara udon. Lunchtime is short. Following Arihiko, I decided to quickly finish my curry udon. Okay, what's next here? Let me see. Lunchtime with Seal. Okay, got it. Got it. I have to look at the route guide now. Stay in school for a little longer. There we go. As soon as I step out into the hallway, I run into a familiar face. Huh? What's up, Senpai? Do you have some business here at the second-year classrooms? Yeah, business with a second-year student, to be precise. Seo Senpai approaches with a smile. Listen, I have some nice snacks here, but no one to talk to. It would be a waste to eat them all by myself, so I came to catch an idle-looking person to talk to. Someone to talk to. But there's no one left in the classroom. It's the same with all the other classes, too. You don't usually come to the second-year classrooms anyways, do you? You're on the lower floor, right? And if she wanted someone to talk to, aren't there plenty of third-year classmates she could talk to? She really didn't need to come all the way up here. Shouldn't you think about asking your third-year classmates? Conversation would probably be better. Clear my throat. Ahem. Yes, but today I'm in the mood to talk to younger guys. Please don't ask for a reason, it's just on a whim. Yeah, just a whim. Well, I won't ask. I probably wouldn't be able to understand even if she told me. Senpai's smile disappears as she stares into my face. Are you free right now, Tono-kun? Well, if having nothing to do means I'm free, then I'm definitely free. Senpai grabs hold of my sleeve. Well then, you are now caught. Let's go have some tea. Senpai invites me with a smile. There's no reason for me to decline the offer, and besides, it should be fun talking with Senpai. Sure, I'll come along if it's okay with you. Then it's decided. Alright, let's go. Still holding my sleeve, she begins walking down the hall with a slight gait. Seal's pretty nice so far. Wow, our school has a room like this? Could it be for the tea ceremony club? Yeah, it's the tea ceremony club's room for now. It seems like it hasn't been used up until I came, though. Senpai steps onto the tatami mat and starts preparations with a rattling noise. She steps on it so hard it hits Tono in the face. Tatami gaishi! A club room, huh? If that's the case, won't the other club members be coming? It'd be bad for an outsider like me to be here, right, Senpai? It's okay. It may be the tea ceremony club, but there aren't any other members except for me. Thanks to that, I can use it freely during break time and after school. Here we go. Is a club if there's only one member? That doesn't seem right. Smiling, Senpai begins spreading the cushions. Tea is tea, but it looks like this is really going to be a serious tea ceremony. To be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed. Senpai, I don't have the slightest clue what to do. What are you talking about? I only know of the pouring bit myself. With that blunt reply, Senpai put the teapots and cups and some tea cakes onto a plate. We're just going to have a casual conversation, so there's no need to be so formal. It isn't any fun that way, is it? Smiling softly, Senpai pours tea into her own cup. I just don't get you, Senpai. Mumbling, I pour my own tea. I slurp. Slurp. Picking up the tea cake and putting it in my mouth, I sip again at the tea. I was never involved with it, but the Arima family is a prominent tea ceremony family. Being raised in a household like that, I'm used to drinking tea and doing nothing. Senpai looks at me with a somewhat troubled expression. What's wrong, Senpai? You look a bit unhappy. Eh? I was just a little surprised at how calm you were about all of this, Tono-kun. Really? Well, my family's a strict one, so I'm used to these kinds of things. More importantly, Senpai, didn't you have something you wanted to talk to me about? I do. The continuation of what we were talking about during lunch. What we were talking about during lunch? You mean about my family? Senpai nods to indicate a yes. If you don't mind, I would like to hear more about it. I was curious about it since we stopped halfway. It's not that I mind, but hearing about my family isn't very interesting. It'd be a waste of time. I don't mind if it's not interesting. I just want to hear about it. You sure are eccentric, Senpai. Maybe I am, Senpai laughs. Alright then, let's continue from before. You said you moved to your home. What do you mean by that? What did he mean by this? Senpai asks, full of curiosity. Well, the conversation this afternoon must have been pretty fragmented for Senpai since she didn't know any of the circumstances. Let's see. Basically, I'm a guy who's been disinherited. I was seriously injured after getting caught up in a traffic accident when I was 9 years old. Quote-unquote, traffic accident. The injuries themselves somehow healed, but after that, I easily collapsed from anemia and threw up my food. That's why I was entrusted to my relatives, the Arimas, while I recuperated. So in other words, the Arimas have been your parents who raised you since you were 9, right? That's right. I knew my old man hated me for some reason, and that once I had been entrusted to the Arimas, I would never go back home. Go back to the Tono mansion, that is. That's why, well, I thought I'd just continue to live as a son of the Arimas forever. That's what I thought, but my old man kicked the bucket recently. That's when they told me to return to the mansion, now that my old man is no longer there, and I finally agreed. And that, pretty much, is my domestic situation. That's a funny way to describe it. This is my domestic situation. I end my story like that. CEO Senpai gives a little nod silently. May I just ask one thing? Sure, if I can answer it. Go ahead. Alright, then I'll ask. Did you dislike your previous family? My previous family. The Arimas who had raised me as my parents. My mother and father who weren't my real parents. And the unfamiliar building without a doubt was home to strangers. But completely regardless of that. No, I like them. They were people who didn't care that I wasn't related to them by blood. They were so warm to me that I felt bad about being depressed all by myself. And for them to love me no matter what, I didn't think it was a bad thing. I was loved by those people. That's why soon, even one day sooner, I have to truly become family to them. I had been telling myself those words since I was young. Ban the bot. At least it's just one of those want to become famous bots and not the ones that were flooding people a while ago. Hello, Goo Visuals. Robot. Let's see. We're hanging out with CL in this tea ceremony room right now. We just started CL's route. Since a very, very long time ago. Over and over, I swore, till I would practically pass out. Just like Arihiko said, I didn't have a single complaint about the Arima family. Oh, that's a cute Kohaku animated emote. That's adorable. I'm excited to do Hisui and Kohaku's roots. I think I'm most interested in them after Arc. And we already finished Arc's route. They treated me well, and I think I responded to their affection too. There's one thing I'm not clear on, is Hisui and Kohaku one combined route, or are they two separate routes for each of them? That's one thing it feels like I've been getting mixed messages on. The game itself, you know, where you can look at the CG collections, has them paired together. But, oh, they are separate? Okay. Like, you know, where you can go look at the gallery of the CGs you've seen. It has them, it just says Hisui and Kohaku. It doesn't have them separate. So I thought they might be some sort of weird combined route, but if they're separate, all the better. Because I'd like to get to know each of them individually. I like them both. Between us, even though I knew we were just playing at being family, even if it was all just an act, I didn't feel any pain. No, I was happy instead. In a way, I'd considered the Arima's parents and me to be the ideal nuclear family. But it was no good, was it? Yeah, despite everything, there was a line I couldn't cross. This isn't your real family. No matter what I did, I couldn't get those words out of my head. I knew I should have been ignoring it, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know if you'd call it a childhood experience, but it had already become like a curse to me. Somehow, no matter where I was, I felt like a stranger to my family. Senpai is silent. Avoiding my gaze, she huddles her shoulders apologetically. See? It was boring after all, right? That's why I said it would be a waste of time. No, that's not true. It was a very meaningful story. Senpai forces a smile to try and diffuse the situation. But it was a little surprising, because I thought of you as an easygoing person. Well, I basically am a pretty easygoing person. It's my personal philosophy to enjoy the present as much as possible. A weird wizard lady told me that. People are happier enjoying what is to come rather than being concerned about what happened before, right? Well, actually, that was an opinion I had inherited from Arihiko. Enjoy what is to come. That sounds nice. Senpai sips her tea with a very gentle smile. I follow Senpai's example and place my lips on the cup. With a slurp, the bitter tea washes down my throat with just a hint of sweetness. I like a nice warm tea every now and then. Does any of the minions in the chat room have a favorite flavor of tea? I really just like something with peach in it. Like you put peach flavored tea and like with some honey in it. Tastes very nice. I like peach flavored things in general. I walk along a different path than the one I usually take. Passing through unfamiliar streets, I slowly approach the Tono mansion. The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived here until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I have taken this path back to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic yet fresh. Up until just now, I had not looked forward to returning to the Tono household. Now, it doesn't seem so bad. Trade. The house I lived in until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiya is in that utterly un-Japanese, Western-style mansion. Tono Makihisa, my old man who hated me and the master of the Tono household, died a few days ago. My mother died from illness after Akiya was born, so the Tonos had dwindled down to me and my sister. Being the eldest son, you would think I would stand to become the Tono heir, but I have no such privilege. To become the Tono heir means being bound by a strict upbringing. I have lost count of the number of times my father scolded me over dislike of not being able to live freely. That was when I got involved in that accident, and my body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was something along the lines of, someone who could die at any moment can't become the heir, even if he is the eldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery, but my sister Akiya was already deemed to be their heir to the Tono household. And so I've heard that Akiya, who was already being raised harshly in order to become a proper daughter of the Tono household, received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago. I played together with Akiya in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. The life of the mansion I abandoned 8 years ago. Those 8 years were long, and my memories of that time have largely faded. But in spite of that, there is one thing that even now continues to burn strongly within my heart, and that is... About my little sister Akiya. Who's the cheerful girl? I'm curious, well, kind of curious about the cheerful girl. What does Rakai say? Oh, that's a Hisui. Okay. Interesting. Also, this is interesting. This is a scene you only get after completing your first route, so that's cool. Yes, yeah, these are choices that are like, you can go, these are far side choices now, because you can access these far side choices only after you do one route. So this is where you can start getting more, you know, if you can think of your responses as like points for one person to activate their ending. This is where you can start getting Akiya and Hisui / Kohaku points, because you completed one route. That's what the flowchart is telling me. You can only get stuff for the maids and Akiya after completing it once. Akiya isn't the only person I haven't seen since then. I can't remember all the details because it's been 8 years, but there were other children at the mansion around the same age as me. I don't remember their names, but there were 2 girls who were twins. Father has once said they didn't have any relatives, so he took them to work as servants. See, this is interesting because Tono Shiki didn't mention them at all the first route. Like, it seemed like he was meeting Hisui and Akiya for the first time, not that they had lived there for most of their lives. So this is an interesting thing. That's weird. We played together so often when we were small, but I can't remember their names. I close my eyes and cast my mind back. Babby Hisui. I should be able to remember. She was a girl who was always cheerful, so cheerful that you would become cheerful just by looking at her. And I'm sure the fact that Shiki doesn't seem to remember Hisui and Akiya at all, or not Akiya, Kohaku in the first route is probably a plot-related things. It might be a plot-related thing or just a streamlining thing. A girl with a carefree personality who was loved by everyone at the mansion. Because she was close to my age, I got along very well with her, and it seemed like every day we would run around the garden together. Let's play together, Shiki-chan. she would say, and I could remember her taking me out of my room after I secluded myself inside. She would often laugh and take shy Akia's hand, trying to make her play with us. Maybe she was older than the both of us. She would guide me and Akiya to play together, but once we started playing, she would just watch over us. Even Akiya's tutor, the harsh butler, would say, "I don't mind as long as is with you guys." And let Akiya out to play. Oh, okay, I get it. It's because he can't remember her name. As if there was no helping it. Asterisks. In contrast to that girl was the other one. On the second floor. While we played in the garden, there was always a girl looking down at us every time I turned to look at the mansion. She was the twin of that cheerful girl, but she would always gaze at us expressionlessly. That girl would never try to leave the house. All she would do was watch us with those cold eyes. Well, in the end, I only ended up talking a little with her. I wonder if those girls are still at the mansion. While I think about that, I take a white ribbon out of my bag. An old white ribbon that the girls gave to me at the very end. See, this wasn't mentioned in the first read either. This white ribbon. 8 years ago, after I was involved in the accident, the day I was entrusted to the Arima family, right before I was to leave the mansion, the girl gave me this for some reason. "I'm just lending it to you, so be sure to return it." Saying something along those lines, she ran off. Afterwards, I was quickly found by one of the servants and taken to the front entrance. With no one to see me off, I walked out of the gates of that giant mansion while the Arima lady held my hand. It was my last memory of when I left the Tono mansion 8 years ago. So we're getting more of Shiki's backstory with this. This is cool. I put the ribbon back in my bag. But it's been 8 years, after all. Not only do I not know if they are still at the mansion, I can't even remember their names. Yeah, just a slightly different timeline where Shiki's better at remembering things, I guess. He doesn't get a headache every time he tries to remember someone's name. To make things worse, I can't even remember which girl gave me the ribbon. Still, it's not like it was some important promise or anything. But I want to keep the promise as long as I still remember it. I agree to return to the mansion after Akiya is now there all by herself. I left her there for 8 years, pushing all responsibility onto her while I selfishly lived freely. I'm going back because I feel guilty for what I did to her. I didn't exactly plan to use this as an opportunity to do so, but if that girl is still at the mansion, I want to properly fulfill the promise from 8 years ago. It's huge. The words escaped my mouth when I reached the gate. For someone like me, used to living in a normal house, the Tono mansion seems well out of reality. I wonder if I rushed into this? No, it's too late to start regretting things now. The gates aren't locked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. They tower oppressively, bearing down on any visitors. Besides the iron double doors is an unmatching doorbell. Alright, shaking off my nervousness, I press it. I guess the doorbell doesn't match probably because it's newer than the doors. There isn't any affectionate ding-dong chime from the doorbell. The oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then, the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. "We have been waiting for you." The door opens with a creak. Inside is the lobby, I remembered, and a young girl in an apron. "Thank goodness. You're so late I was beginning to worry that you had gotten lost. I was thinking about going out to meet you if you hadn't arrived by sunset." The girl in the anachronistic apron smiles warmly. No, that's, I'm so taken aback by her outdated mode of dress that I can't even form a proper sentence. Perhaps attributing my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head a little. "You're Shiki-sama, aren't you?" Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama." "You are, right? Oh, please don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I had made another mistake back there." She gives a good-natured laugh. I have no basis for this, but she fits the image perfectly. Babby Kohaku. Babby maid. Could it be that you're the girl who played together with us when we were small? I inquire tentatively. She gives a full smile, looking truly happy. "Come, you must be tired, right? Please do come in. Akiya-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room." She's avoiding the question. The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads toward the sitting room. Turning back as if she just remembered something, she makes a bow, a full smile on her face. "Welcome home, Shiki-sama." Her greeting is accompanied by her flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just follow her hesitantly. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. It's as if I'm seeing it for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years, or if they had refurbished it since then. Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. As I'm looking around the sitting room, the maid in the apron lowers her head in a quick bow. I brought Shiki-sama with me. Well done. You may return to the kitchen, Kohaku. Thank you. It seems that the maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow as if to say farewell and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It has been a long time, Nissan, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a yeah. I don't think I can be helped. This Akiya that I had not seen in 8 years is not the Akiya I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan? The black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults as I try to recognize the girl before me as Akiya, but it seems like Akiya already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiya throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Akiya. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan, you fucking idiot. We are at an age of change. Or did you think we'd remain like back then forever? What is this? I can feel the thorns in Akiya's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiya. You become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. Right, I forgot about that line. Very cool, Shiki, very smooth. And, indeed, but you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Akiya answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I had thought. It seems that Akiya does not think well of me. If you are feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you were called back here, Nissan. I've heard nothing more than a sudden come back to the mansion, though I found out in the new papers the old man passed away. The head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it in the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reached his son, Tono Shiki, via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives hadn't told him, this disinterested son could pick up a news of his father's death merely by buying a 100-yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world has certainly become a convenient place. I am sorry. It was my fault that you did not get the news about father. Akiya quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like we would come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about. I am sorry. It is somewhat comforting to hear you say that. Akiya's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot not detach their feelings for the deceased to achieve such attachment. That's a weirdly structured sentence. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there is no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tonos to be entrusted to the Arimas forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tonos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he is no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That is why I had you come back here. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who had come up with the idea of leaving me with the Arimas in the first place? That may be so, but now I am the head of the Tono family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan, but this is a place with rules. You will avoid living the overly casual lifestyle you've been leading up until now. Haha, I'm afraid that isn't going to happen, Akia. There's no way I can go back to being some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask more of you, but do try to... Or are you saying you are unable to do what I already have? Agia shoots me a cold look. Feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Agia just stares at me as if she doesn't quite believe me. You do not need to try as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care to have too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Eh? Hold on a second, Akia. You cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I still like this. I still think this is very funny that she just kicked everyone else out who was living there. Every other relative. Their cousin, gone. Uncle's gone. Great-grandma, gone. She's like 90 years old. Find somewhere else to live. I have put off most of the servants, but there are enough for you and I, so there are no problems. What? No problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed with just the two of us here? Well, it's true that I would feel relaxed, but you've only just become head of the family, Akia. If you go around abusing your powers like some kind of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why Father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. That's kind of mean. I'm not going to put up with their whining any longer. Not going to put up with... Look, Akia. Enough. Just listen. You don't have to worry about me. Please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways. Akia says sullenly, looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisui. She looks at the girl standing by her side. The girl called Hisui bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She will be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable? Eh? Personal maid? You mean... In other words, she's your servant. Agi declares as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there as if it is a natural thing to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself. Would that include the cooking and the laundry? Agi is pretty sharp at pointing these things out. At any rate, now that you've returned to the house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived at the Arima house, but you're living at the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you. I can't say anything and my eyes drift towards Hisui. As expected, she simply looks back at me expressionlessly, like a doll. Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room. Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches me with a shadow-like lack of expression of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head off towards the lobby too. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. Like a sanitation, what are they called? Like a mental institution, yeah. Those commonly have east and west wings. Like a Shutter Island or something. You're trapped in the madhouse, Shiki. The lobby is like the body of a bird whose wings are the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan. Your room is this way, Shiki-sama. Hisui climbs up a flight of stairs. It seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servants' room should be on the first floor of the west wing, so that's probably where Hisui and Kohaku's rooms are. Outside, the sun has already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out. I was gonna say it kind of feels creepy walking down dark, old, musty mansion hallways at the night where no one else is living in them, but you do you, Shiki. Did you say something, Shiki-sama? Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. Is this my room? Yes. If you are displeased with it, I can arrange a different one for you. No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little, no, really too fancy for me. Shiki-sama, it's fine. By the way, I don't know where Nasu or Takayuchi got these backgrounds, because the backgrounds are clearly just, you know, edited photos. But, I think it's really funny that there's, like, what appears to be horseshoe wallpaper, like, horseshoe patterns on the wallpaper. I don't know if, they just, like, looked up pictures of Western-style mansions and got something from, like, Yeehaw, Texas. But it's funny. It's fine. I'll gladly use this room. Understood. This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you will find anything unsatisfactory with it. There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. It's as if she was implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room? That is what I have been told. Am I mistaken? Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. You never noticed the wallpaper? Yeah, I just noticed it now myself. I didn't think about it at all the way through the first read, but now it just jumped out at me. It looks like horseshoes. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. Well, it might be, now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so it must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. Excuse me. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in a 6.5 mat sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel. I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama. You're right. I've got to do my best so I at least look like it on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bag on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I've got no choice but to adjust from today onwards. Shiki-sama, all of your luggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require? No, not really. Why do you ask? There was very little delivered. If there's anything you need, I can have it prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask. I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. Ah, new content. Talk to more about the ribbon. It belongs to one of them. That's all. Ah, that's right. I haven't asked her the important thing yet. Can I ask you something, Hisui? Yes. What is it, Shiki-sama? I'm sorry if I'm mistaken about this, but you and Kohaku-san are sisters, right? For an instant, surprise flashes in Hisui's expressionless eyes. Yes, Kohaku is my older sister. Really? Great. Then that means you two must be the girls who once lived here. I'm so happy that I inadvertently raised my voice. In direct contrast to my joy, Hisui does not move. Hisui? You and Kohaku-san were the children taken in here, aren't you? We used to play together. I wonder if you remember. I close my mouth as soon as I speak. No, the girl I had played together with was the bright and cheerful one. The one who just gazed at us with those cold eyes has to be. I played together with your sister quite often. Hisui? Yes, I know. 2 years before you went to the Arima household, Makihisa-sama took in Nei-san and I. Hisui speaks as if disinterested. It's good that I know Hisui and Kohaku-san are the twins from my memories, but it seems Hisui doesn't think much of it. I see. I didn't talk to you much. I'm sorry for getting so worked up. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I already... Don't spoil it, but I'm already gonna guess there's like some twist where when they were kids, Hisui was the bright and cheerful one and Kohaku was the quiet one and they switched for some reason. That's my immediate guess. That seems very, very loudly telegraphed. Especially when like, because the flashbacks CGs are in like sepia tones so you can't see their eye color. Don't tell me if I'm right. I want to be surprised. I must also apologize for my rudeness to you when I was younger. Hisui lowers her head. I feel really uneasy. I know Hisui doesn't mean to make me feel bad, but I don't know how to respond when a girl the same age as me says that to me. Do you have any other requests, Shiki-sama? No, nothing in particular. Very well. I shall come to call you in an hour's time. Please relax until then. As I expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. By 1 hour later, she must mean dinner. But even if she tells me to relax, how would I do that here? The clock says it's around 6 o'clock. Usually, I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of a trivial thing to ask about, but is there a television in this mansion? A television? Hisui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but it really is a stupid question. I feel like there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. I think that it's almost like they were all stolen by some guy who punches really hard. Hisui makes a rare, troubled face and stares off into space. There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they departed, they packed it up with their luggage and took it back with them, so I do not believe there are any remaining. Hold on. Visitors? Like who? For how long? Relatives. The eldest son of Kugamine from a branch of the family, Tozaki-sama's third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama's eldest son came to stay here for close to 3 years. See, there's some names I recognize. 3 years, huh? Hisui, that's what you'd call freeloaders, not visitors. Hisui does not reply. No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives had brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he would ever watch TV. Akiya, who had been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui is silent. Like a perfect example for servants, Hisui says nothing unless she is being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any old half-hearted effort. Oh, there was a library on the first floor of the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read when I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands there in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. It's kind of creepy, Hisui. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there is one in Nei-san's room. Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one of what? A television. I remember seeing one in Nei-san's room. Hisui says, as if remembering something from many years ago. I see. Kohaku-san does look like the type of person who'd watch those variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch your TV. Give me your TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I've got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'd be in from Akiya if I started watching television. Seems I'll be leading a scholarly student life fit for a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright, I'll be in my room until dinner, so just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Assent. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. Huh, that's interesting. We got to find the TV last time. Let me see here. So now we are over here. Oh, never mind. We get the chance to go to Oh, yeah, we do get the chance to go to. That's after dinner. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So we already did this one. So let's do something slightly different. I mean, we're gonna have to do all these again anyways for their routes, but I also want to spread out the points to make sure I'm not getting overriding CL. So let's go to the sitting room and talk with Akia. When I get to the sitting room, Akia is relaxing there alone. There's no sign of Kohaku-san or Hisui. There are 2 teacups on the table, and Akia is using one of them. Oh, do you drink tea after meals too, Nissan? No, nothing like that. I just thought I'd come and talk to you. My expression tells her, I'll go away if I'm bothering you. Then please sit down. Is tea alright for you? Sure. I'll have anything that's nice. I actually prefer Japanese tea, but I'll keep that bit of selfishness to myself. This is making me want to pick up some tea. I don't have any right now. Get some nice packets for peach flavored tea and some honey. That's always a really good combination. I mentioned that earlier. Akia takes the teapot and pours transparent red tea into another teacup. Thank you. I sit on the sofa and raise the teacup to my mouth. Before my eyes is the cool and collected Akia, and it makes me a bit uneasy. I came to talk to her, but to be honest, I really don't know what to say now that she's in front of me. Nissan, you're very quiet. Didn't you come to talk to me? Akia stares. The atmosphere is not so much that of a younger sister, but more like that of an unfamiliar young lady. It's not one in which I can speak freely. Peach flavored tea is really nice. It's very smooth. Goes down very smooth, very soothing. Like I said, tastes really good with some, just like a few drops of honey. Well, I was just wondering, what you have been doing for the past 8 years? It goes without saying, with Nissan not around, Father's attention turns solely to me. Akia glares in complaint. It seems that the last 8 years are a taboo subject. And what about you? What have you been doing for 8 years? I sent many letters but didn't receive a single reply. I choke involuntarily. Certainly Akia sent many letters, but I never replied. I was a poor correspondent, but at the bottom of my heart I wanted to sever all links with the Tono Mansion, and that made me reluctant to write to Akia. Well, don't worry about the letters. Even if you had answered, I'm sure Father would never have allowed the replies into the house. More importantly, how do you feel returning to the mansion for the first time in 8 years? It was changed very little, though there was some restoration work done. In spite of Akia's words, the mansion still feels completely unknown to me. 8 years ago, I was just a child. Even if I remember the mansion a little, I feel like I'm in someone else's house, and it's very unsettling. Nissan? No, I was just lost in thought for a moment. You say this mansion's changed very little, but it's pretty unsettling for me. Though this sitting room and the lobby are kind of familiar, I can't really remember the corridor nor my room. Really? I guess 8 years is a long time. I guess that's it. It's like half of my life so far. I can't really expect to have clear memories. Well, it's been 8 years, so it doesn't feel right, but I think I'll get used to it. I'll be thankful if you overlook my poor manners for a while. Please, don't be ridiculous. I can hardly look any more leniently upon Nissan's manners than I do already. Bah! That was close. I almost sprayed the tea I was drinking. At supper, Akia's look sent me into a cold sweat after all I did was use the wrong knife. You forgot to use the steak knife. You gotta use the salad knife. I don't really care for that sort of table etiquette. It seems so archaic. I like being fancy, just not in that way. I see. You were being lenient back then. Yes, I am making concessions appropriate to your abilities. Nissan has been brought up by the Arimas, after all. As Aunt Keiko comes from a branch family, a certain amount of laissez-faire was permitted and you were spoiled, Nissan. The result is the supper we had a while ago. Well, it can't be helped, can it? We never really thought I'd be returning here. Is that so? You almost sound like you didn't want to return, Nissan. Don't be stupid, it's not like that. I may have had my doubts, but I couldn't just leave you alone here, could I? What kind of brother would I be then? Yes, that's the reason I returned. If it weren't for Akiya, I never would have returned. Since I had heard nothing for almost 8 years, I always wondered whether you were alright on your own. I came back to the mansion because I was worried about you. Looking a little off to the side, I put my honest feelings into words. Well then, What? But I guess I was just worrying over nothing. Oh, you fucked up with that one, Shiki. In the past 8 years, you seem to have grown strong. I'm relieved, but a little disappointed. I don't think this is a response she's gonna respond as well to as you think, Shiki. No, a bit is saying too little. Since I had only the image of the calm Akiya back when she was small, the sharp Akiya right now seems like a different person. Really? I'm sorry I didn't meet Nissan's expectations. Akiya's eyes are scary. Crap, I think I may have said too much again. Well then, Nissan, how is life at the Arima residence? Akiya asks, still with frightening expression. I feel like I'm under terrible pressure even though I'm only talking to my younger sister. Nissan, did you hear what I said? I heard. Life at the Arimas, right? It was normal. There was no real problems. It seems it was more suited for me living there, too. That's not what I meant. How is your health? I have heard you collapsed a lot from your chronic anemia. Yeah, I did for about a year after I left the hospital, but I'm okay now. I only have problems occasionally, about once a month. I'm certainly not frail enough to be worried about. Bluffing, I strike my chest with its scar. Akiya nods in serious assent. But Nissan, you've also started wearing glasses. After going to the hospital, did your eyesight fail also? I see. Akiya doesn't know I wear glasses or why I wear them. Yeah, that'd be a weird thing to tell her. I'm sorry, Akiya, I have to wear these glasses, because if I don't, I see your death spots and lines. She looks like she'd own an unironic girl boss branded sweater. I don't know about that. Akiya does have some girl boss vibes, that's true though. I can't explain the lines along which things breaks, or that they don't appear when I wear those glasses. Well, it's nothing. My eyes became a little strange after the accident, but it's not like my eyesight's gone bad, so it's not really a serious problem. Really, I was surprised when I saw you a while ago. I didn't know you had started wearing glasses, Nissan. Really? You seemed pretty calm back then. Of course. I was meeting you for the first time in 8 years. I couldn't let you see me acting strange. Aki's brow creases sullenly. People keep comparing Akiya to Rin from Fate, and I haven't read Fate yet, so I can't say for sure, but Rin seems much, like, just from what I know, she seems a lot farther on the tsundere spectrum. Like, Akiya's kind of tsundere. Rin seems to go full Asuka, you know? Akiya-sama? The bath is ready, what should I do? Really? Thank you, Kohaku. I'll go soon, so go ahead. Is that alright? After all, you're relaxing with Shiki-sama. Shiki-sama might run away, but the bath won't. Please relax a little longer. It's fine. We weren't talking about anything important anyways. That feels like a burn. Akiya stands and walks past Kohaku-san into the lobby. Kohaku-san follows Akiya. Left alone in the sitting room, I finished the tea. Akiya and Kohaku-san seem to be heading to the bath, so I guess I'll go back to my room. Hang on. Akiya and Kohaku-san aren't going to take a bath together, are they? Don't be weird, Shiki. No, I bet they are. Then maybe Kohaku-san will be washing her back? Please be normal. Of course, with another girl, that's no problem, but... Well, you are free to imagine whatever you wish, Nissan, but... Aki returns with amazing timing. Were you talking out loud about this weird scenario you're imagining, Shigi? That's weird. Don't force Hisui to do stupid things. Unlike Kohaku, she doesn't really get jokes. Okay, that's you messed up there again, translator Kun. Akia looks accusingly, as if she sees my thoughts. I'm surprised. Maybe this mansion has some listening devices. Wait, what are you doing back here? Weren't you taking a bath with Kohaku-san? I forgot to tell you something about the bath. Nissan, the large bathroom we used a long time ago isn't used anymore. It would be too much for Hisui and Kohaku to take care of, so it has been closed up. Large bathroom? Was there such a place? I splutter a bit. Unable to remember, I make a doubtful face. Akia's brows knit terribly. Yeah, that's true. We're already well aware that Shiki is abnormal in the maximum. The bath in the courtyard. You don't even remember that? Well, now that she mentions it, I guess there was such a thing. But this is a European-style mansion. Isn't such a thing a little out of place? Father half liked the Japanese style of architecture. That is why the detached building is a Japanese style as well. Anyway, if you want to have a bath, please use your own. The second bathroom behind the lobby is yours, Nissan. With that, Akia leaves. Alright. With Akia gone, there's no point in staying in the sitting room. I'll have a bath too and return to my room. We don't have a picture for the bathroom. Ah. When I return to my room, my bed has been made. I guess Hisui did it when I was gone. I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratch my cheek. Then, are you here? Are you there, Shiki-sama? I can hear Hisui's voice along with a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in. Excuse me. Good evening. Thanks for making my bed, Hisui. Hisui quietly nods in acceptance. Ugh, just as I thought, I'm not used to this. Is there anything else you wanted to tell me? No, nothing from me, but Akia-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have. I see. There are many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah, what I want to know right now before I sleep is it true that the curfew here is 7? Yes, the main gate is locked at 7, and all the entrances to the mansion are to be locked at 8. It is also a rule that one must try not to go walking around in the mansion after 10. Not even walking around in the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that, but isn't that kind of harsh? Almost like they're trying to hide something. Aki and I aren't children, so I don't think you have to go that far. Indeed. It is a rule, however, so please abide by it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama? Yeah, that vampire thing Arihiko was talking about. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. What else? Oh, do you mind if I ask an off-topic question? Yes, what is it? I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku-san do around here. I am here to serve your needs, and my sister Kohaku is to serve the Lady Akia-sama. In our spare time, we do the maintenance chores around the mansion. Is there anything more you would like to know? To serve. So that's what it is after all. My shoulders suddenly feel heavier. It seemed completely natural to Akia when she said it, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I have no interest in having a girl close to my age serving me, at least for now. What does that even mean? Maybe later I'll want a maid. By serving me, you're a personal servant? Yes. Please do not hesitate to give me any instructions. Well, I get it. Going by how Akia was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can just dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me. Is there anything in particular you would like? Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? To be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it. But Shiki-sama, you are my master. That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where a girl my age addresses me with Sama. I see. Hisui's response was less than enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki, and in exchange, I'll call you Hisui. Let's do away with the formalities and be more casual with each other. Still expressionless, Hisui lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled. But you are my employer. It's not like I'm hiring you. You're the one who's doing the things that I can't, so you're the great one. I see. Hisui gives another unenthusiastic reply. It looks like I won't be able to talk her into it in just one day. Anyhow, that's how it is. Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you tell that to your sister Kohaku-san, too. Very well, as you say, Shiki-sama. Expressionless, Hisui bows her head. She completely failed to understand. I will be leaving now. Please rest now for tonight. Bowing, Hisui puts her hand on the doorknob. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a second. Running towards the door, I put my hand on Hisui's shoulder before she leaves. In an instant, Hisui's arm pushes away my arm with incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand away and leaps back. No touch. Eh? It's so sudden that's the only thing I can say. Hisui is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I just do something wrong? I am very sorry. Hisui's voice sounds very nervous. I am not used to being touched. Please forgive me. Hisui's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisui and I lower my head. Hisui says nothing. I get the feeling her stare is calm again. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I am the one to blame. No, well, maybe, but I scratch my head. Hisui stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What was it you wanted to ask me, Shiki-sama? That's right. I stopped Hisui because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask about Akiya. Doesn't she go to a boarding school? That was only during middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiya-sama has special permission to attend school from home. You mean she goes to school from here? Yes, but it is uncommon for her to come home before dusk like today. Akiya-sama has practiced up until dinner, but she is always home before 7. Practice? Practice what? Today is Thursday, she would have violin practice. Eh? Usually she's able to return before dinner on Wednesdays, so if you have anything to say to Akiya-sama, please let Nei-san know after dinner. Hisui bows to say goodbye and leaves the room. Violin practice? What on earth is that? She's not some upper-class lady or anything, so why would you have to do something as bothersome? Oh, wait, she is an upper-class lady. Yes, come to think of it, my sister, Tono Akiya, is a natural-born upper-class lady. In my memory, she was always the obedient, ever-uneasy sister constantly following me around. As a child, she was always quiet, never having even the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who would always live in fear of scolding from our father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. For 8 years, I've become the me I am now. Akiya has become the person she is right now, too. 8 years is a long time. It's half of our lives up until now. I was absent from this mansion during that vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiya. But to think things would ever have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unknowingly mumble an apology. Gotta be nice to your sister, but please don't be that kind of nice. Okay. Alright, so I want the near side response, because seal is near side. Got it. Greet both of them. A lot of scene skipping. Hang on, let me see where my next choice is gonna be. Day 2. Okay. Got it. Okay. Go to the tea ceremony room. Alright. The morning lessons are over. It's lunch break, and Arihiko has gone on ahead to the cafeteria. Now, where should I have my lunch? Tea ceremony room. Go hang out with CL. I guess I'll go take a look at the tea ceremony room. I'm sure Senpai said something yesterday after class about having lunch there. If Senpai is there, maybe I can talk with her while having lunch. Most importantly, I enjoy having lunch with Senpai, and I'm also worried about the news story from this morning. Alright, gotta strike while the iron's hot and all. I head off to the tea ceremony room before Arihiko notices my plan. Can't have you hitting on her while I'm there, Arihiko. That's my job. I knock on the tea ceremony room door. After a brief wait, the door cracks open and Senpai pokes out her head. Huh? Tono-kun? Puzzled, Senpai tilts her head. She doesn't seem annoyed, but it seems like she really doesn't understand why I came here. Would you like to have lunch together, Senpai? Holding out the bread I purchased at the cafeteria, I tell her why I am here. Ooh, yakisoba pan. Lunch? I'm happy to hear you ask me, but... Senpai thinks over it, looking troubled. Things don't look good. It seems Senpai isn't very interested. I guess I've got no choice. I decide to employ a little strategy. I have curry bread. Eh? Senpai's face becomes bright and cheerful. I had a feeling about this from yesterday's lunch, but I am amused at her reaction. Yeah, I guess Seal just really likes curry stuff. I'll give you this and thanks for yesterday's lunch, so why don't we eat together? Yes, please. I've just put the tea on. Senpai hastily vanishes inside. Following her, I enter the tea ceremony room. As I enter, it becomes obvious why Senpai was hesitating back then. On top of the tatami mat is an already empty lunchbox. It seems like Senpai has long since finished eating her lunch. Tauno-kun, would you like green or English tea? Green tea, please. More importantly, have you already finished lunch, Senpai? She's a fast eater. She's a hungry, growing girl. Yes, just a little while ago. I slept in this morning, so I didn't have any breakfast, and I was hungry all morning. It was terrible. I see. Well, you don't have to force yourself to accompany me. Sorry for intruding on you. I'll eat in the classroom, so please take your time relaxing. Eh? You mean you're not going to give me any bread? Senpai's sorrow seems to resound from the bottom of her heart. No, I mean, you must be full, right, Senpai? Nasu really likes writing female characters that are gluttons. That's true. I know, the one thing I know about Saber is she really likes eating food, especially Borgor. And it's really funny how if you have her, like, announcer voice back in Type Lumina, when you get the title intros, when she says French bread, it sounds like her mouth is full. It's cute. Not at all. I'm hungry. It doesn't appear she's just saying this to make me feel better. Really? Well, I'll be intruding then. Is this really okay with you, Senpai? The bread from our cafeteria really has volume, you know. No need to worry. If it's food I like, then I can eat limitless amounts of it. That bashful smile is most probably not from shyness, but from anticipation of the curry bread. She is a woman of many mysteries. Someone who could be so happy over one curry bread in this day and age could be quite precious. Senpai eats one while I have two, and we have tea afterwards. Kneeling on top of the mat, Senpai and I casually sip our tea. It would have been great if it wasn't during lunchtime at school, but that's life. How is your new house, Tono-kun? It seems something terrible happened this morning. Yeah. Well, the inside of the house is really fancy, but there are these really noisy stray dogs at night. Also, there was that creepy guy in the coat. I guess it's also bad that there's no TV and no Japanese-style rooms, so there's nowhere to drink tea like this. What, a stray dog? You mean what happened at your house wasn't related to those serial killings? I don't really know. There's this really high wall all the way around our mansion, and they say they found bloodstains there. But listen, that's where I saw the stray dog last night. I couldn't say it. Well, anyhow, it's got nothing to do with us. Let's stop talking about unpleasant topics now that we've finally got an opportunity to relax. Not at all. We're residents of this town, so I think the killings do have something to do with us. Holding her cup in one hand, Senpai casts a serious gaze towards me. Yeah, I guess that's true, but you'll be okay if you don't go walking the streets late at night, won't you? There's been 8 people killed so far already, right? With that many victims, the police ought to catch the guy any day now. Geez, Shiki-kun, you don't have any sense of danger, do you? The newscasters have been saying the same thing since the 3rd victim was found, but they haven't caught him yet, have they? Well, that's true. It's just that I can't really relate to it when they give it such a stupid caption like, the modern-day vampire. I'm sorry, I really did take it too lightly. We live in this town, so we've got to be careful, right? Yes, I'm glad you understand. Senpai smiles in a satisfied manner. But Senpai, why are they calling him a vampire anyway? Well, the blood was drained from all the bodies, right? Isn't that kind of like a vampire? You really think so? Isn't it said you become a vampire yourself once a vampire sucks your blood? These victims are all dead with the corpses to prove it, so they don't really have to go calling him a vampire. Senpai laughs and nods. Do you really believe in things like vampires, Tono-kun? Hey now, I'm just saying that that's how the news is presenting it. If there really were vampires, there wouldn't be any dead bodies left. Excuse me. Just like I said earlier. Yes, you're right. But you can't think of it like this. But can't you think of it like this? The people who were found dead died because they couldn't become vampires. There are actually people who can and can't become vampires, and those who could become vampires wouldn't show up as dead bodies after being attacked by one. You seem to know an eerie amount about this subject, Seal. Because they're still alive somewhere. That's what you'd call a horror story, Senpai. Yes, exactly. I'm sorry to say there's no punchline. Laughing, Senpai simply sips from her cup. While we are having our rambling conversation, lunchtime ends. Bing bong. Okay, what's next? Okay, CL points. There we go. So I get CL points from this no matter what I choose. Interesting. Anyways, it's time to murder Arquid. That's what comes next. I said it was reality last time. And both of these responses give me the same amount of CL points. It's just for whatever reason I need more to get This Is Just a Bad Dream. So I don't think it'll make I'll choose this one because I didn't choose it last time. But just what is wrong about it? Wrong, 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 wrong. It's gonna hang on. I gotta get back into the atmosphere of this scene because we kind of jumped right into it. Wrong, 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 wrong. I killed her. Is that fact wrong? I didn't kill her. Is that fact wrong? No, all that's totally wrong. That's wrong, 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 wrong. Very cool, Nasu. Very cool. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It's all wrong. Wrong. Yeah, this is okay. We just cut up arc for those who are new. No, that is wrong. I'm saying it's wrong. It can't be. It just can't be. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. I don't know her. She's just some stranger I saw walking down the street. Yeah, Shiki, just a quick recap, because this is an important scene. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped it, but I mean, it is the second time around, so you guys can just watch the archive on the YouTube channel. But Shiki just sees Arquid, and his murder senses go off, and he just starts cutting her up like automatically. It's really weird. See? Isn't that strange to you, Shiki? She's just a complete stranger. Why would I have to kill her? There is no answer to my screams. Besides, the reason is clear. From the moment I saw her, I could only think of one thing. Yes, Tonoshiki, wanted to kill that girl. When you kill women, bottom text. That's what I wanted to do back then. Just that it was all so muddy inside my head, I didn't put it in words. Wrong. I feel like throwing up. Ugh. The contents of my stomach rise. Ah. The crimson is soaking into my eyeballs. Ah. I dash out. I don't think for even a moment about how I might be seen or to hide the body. I just want to escape from here. Half crazed, I flee from the unfamiliar apartment. Blah! My stomach acids rise in my throat. I throw everything back up. My food, my gastric juices, everything while I cry. There is nothing left in my stomach, but my body continues to force me to throw up, as if trying to undo what had occurred and return me to my ordinary life. Ah, ah, pain. It hurts like my insides are burning. The tears won't stop, and my body collapses to the floor like a pile of garbage. Ugh, ugh. I keep crying. I killed someone. I killed her without reason, without mercy, like breaking apart a doll. What was it all about? Why I felt like that, why I killed her. Even now I can't find a reason. It's a lie. No, it's too odd to be true. That thing that just happened might not be real. So this is just one of those dreams I have when I faint. It's a lie. Besides, how can someone cut apart someone else like that with just a knife? I read it in a book once. It takes a whole day of strenuous labor to cut someone up, even when using a saw. That's why there's no way I could have possibly done such a thing with just a knife. Those lines never existed in the first place. Everything was just a delusion I had fallen for. It's a lie. Gastric juices drip over my lips, passing out of my mouth, dripping down my jaw. Mixed with the juices is something red. My throat is probably bleeding because my stomach keeps trying to throw up even when there's nothing left in there. Ugh, it hurts. That's why this isn't a dream and I'm just lying to myself. Yes, actually I understand everything. I lusted after her. Just looking at her aroused me. When I cut her apart, it was so thrilling. Oh, those eyes, too. If I knew these lines could cut these things apart like a paper being shredded, I should have just understood that even a person could easily be cut apart like I just did to her. I had lived a normal life without even thinking about something like that. If I really am the sort of dangerous person who could easily kill just about anything, then I should have just put those eyes or lived a life without seeing anyone. I'm sorry, Sensei. I'm so sorry. Not even such a simple promise. But I don't care about myself. I killed that person's life up until now. The people around that person, the future that a person dreamed of, everything destroyed by a stranger. Even if I regret it, I cannot be forgiven. Even if I apologize, I cannot be forgiven. Have I gone insane? I don't know. There isn't even a trace of that impulse left. But if that impulse came again, what will happen to me? The thought of holding back never crossed my mind. I did not even consider trying to stop myself. Kill this girl. If it had seemed like that obvious thing to do, and I went through with it, even then there's nothing I can do. Then the answer is simple. I must be insane. I've probably been mad since 8 years ago when I miraculously came to back to life from a fatal accident. You know what? That's probably true, actually. You are kind of insane, Shiki. You are not normal. I'm cold. The sun has gone down without me noticing. What time is it now? I can't tell. My eardrums are filled with noise like a static TV. Static, static, static. The sound doesn't stop. It's terribly cold. If I stay sitting down on this bench like this, I think I'm going to die. Static, static, static. I don't feel anything. I don't care about that repeating noise or the freezing cold. My body is shivering. It may be due to the cold or the uneasiness or the fear or regret. I can't tell which. I've killed someone and I can't explain why I did it without any reason. What a joke. There's no reason, so there's no way I can explain it. I killed her just because I felt like killing her. Such a reason is insanity. Yeah, it would be so easy if I was just insane, but my heart still remains sane. It's only because I'm still sane that I can feel this numbness. Static, static, static. The knife is still in my hand. Resolving this by killing myself, that's pretty easy. But I can't do it. I'm still sane, so I can't do it. My heart fears death, and somewhere in my heart, I know that doing so will not settle this or atone for it. The noise continues. My body temperature continues to plummet. I can't kill myself, but if I leave things as they are, I'll disappear. Maybe that's for the best, even if a killer like me survives. If I just quickly die like this. Tono-kun? Suddenly, my name is called. I raise my head. There's Senpai. It feels like decades since I last saw her. She's got an umbrella. What are you doing sitting out here in the rain? Rain. I see. That static noise up until now was the sound of rain. No wonder it's cold. I can see now that I'm completely soaked and freezing. Oh, you don't even have an umbrella. You're going to catch a cold like that, Tono-kun. Senpai's voice is so painful. It was only a few hours ago that I last heard it, but now it sounds so distant. Tono-kun, can you hear me? Yeah. It wouldn't be so bad to catch a cold. I just reply without thinking. That won't do. You'll catch more than a cold with rain like this, even if it is October. Her sentence cuts off as she touches me. How long have you been like this, Tono-kun? You're so cold. Umbrella CL Sprite is cute. You're right, Hawk Jetstream. Senpai pulls my arm and forces me up from the bench. I'll lend you my umbrella, Ella, so please hurry and go home and do something about your body. It'll really be a matter of life and death if you don't warm up quickly. Yeah, but I can't go home. I can't go anywhere ever again. I can't go home after doing something like that. I don't think there's anywhere left where I can rest anymore. Senpai stares at me. I see. Then let's go back to my room. It's closer than your house, so it's perfect. Senpai pulls me by my arm. I can't shake her off. I can't think about anything at the moment, and Senpai's warmth is the only certain thing in this world where everything feels numb. Oh, this is a cute room. It's got stuffed animals on the bed. Senpai's room is a common one-room apartment in a 2-story building. Just one really small, cramped room the size of 6 tatami mats and 1 kitchen. As one might expect from Senpai, the room is a neat one. That trivial fact relaxes my numbed nerves just a little. Here, please wipe yourself with this. She hands me a bath towel. Sorry, I don't have any clothes that fit you. Please just bear with this for a while. I'll go prepare something warm for you to drink right away. Senpai retreats to the kitchen. I'm left by myself in the neat room. I've never imagined coming into a girl's room like this. A girl's room. The room of a girl. A girl's room which I forced myself into and killed the girl in. I feel like throwing up. What am I doing here, in such a place? I have absolutely no right to receive Senpai's hospitality here. Thanks for waiting. Here you go. Tono-kun! You've got to wipe yourself down, quickly. Senpai scolds me as she begs me to rub my head with the bath towel. See, your shirt is all soaked too. You've got to take it off. You might actually catch pneumonia like this. A very fierce-looking senpai undoes the buttons on my shirt. Ooh. Suddenly, her fingers stop. Senpai takes a long, hard look at my chest. This is a healed wound, isn't it? She must be surprised to see my old wound on my chest. The burn-like marks are right in the middle of my chest. She might be surprised at seeing them because she didn't know. Yeah, they're fine. It's already been 8 years. I see. Thank goodness. If this wound was the reason you're acting funny, I'd have to take you to the hospital right away. Senpai gives a faint, soft smile. A twinge. When I see her smiling face, my chest hurts. It's alright. I can do it by myself, so leave me alone. Okay. I'll bring you some tea then. If you take your shirt off, please use that sheet there and warm yourself. I wipe my trousers with the bath towel. But even so, my trousers are still wet. The sheet is going to get soaked if I cover myself with it. I take off my shirt and wrap the top half of my body with the towel. Are you finished wiping yourself? Then let's have some tea. Senpai sits down, holding a tea set. Please sit down too, Tono-kun. I can't calm down with you standing up. I do as I'm told and sit down. Senpai pours some English tea and hands it to me. Huh, she likes English tea too. Neither of us say anything. Senpai drinks her English tea as if she doesn't notice my presence. Following Senpai's example, I drink some as well. It's hot. So hot that it hurts my tongue. The warmth puts a pulse into me. It feels like my heart, brain, and all my other organs that stopped begin to move a little again. Senpai says nothing. It's not long before the teacup is empty. Senpai naturally refills the cup again with more. Ah, I get the feeling that I have to say something. Tauno-kun. I recoil in shock. I'm going out for a bit. Can I count on you to look after the house? Yeah. That's fine. Alright, then I'll leave it up to you. I'll be right back, so don't do anything funny. I wonder how serious she is. Smiling as she speaks, Senpai leaves. I'm alone again. The warm something I'd felt up to a moment ago is quickly cooling down. Senpai didn't ask me anything. She takes a person like me into her room and looks after me like it's a natural thing to do. Though I didn't notice. The warmth of the tea, the neatness of the room. What is many, many times more comforting than those things is having someone besides me. My chest hurts. A little while ago, I preferred to be alone, feeling nothing. But now I've become uneasy just by her presence. I want to scream like I've gone crazy. What arrogance. I'm a murderer, after all. I don't have any right to Senpai's kindness, but I'm selfishly wanting Senpai to quickly come home. Ugh! That was weird. It like froze for a second and now she's back. I guess that was quick. I'm home, Tauno-kun. Thanks for looking after the place. Senpai. Seems Senpai has bought a lot of all sorts of things. There are several plastic bags hanging from her hands. Let's see. Please wear this for now. It's cheap, but it's better than wet clothing. By the way, the bath should be about ready now. You should feel a bit better after relaxing in there for a while. Eh? Senpai neatly prepares everything. My change of clothes, a bath. This person is... Even though there is no need to do so for a person like me. It's okay, Senpai. I'm going home. I can't cause you any more trouble. What are you saying, Tauno-kun? You said you can't go home, right? I've already bought food for two, so please take responsibility. Responsibility? Senpai, please warm yourself up, eat dinner, so get yourself together before you go home. If you just go home without a face like that, I'll be so worried I won't be able to sleep. My chest hurts. Happiness. I'm so happy I'm about to cry, but on the other hand, I'm in fear of her kindness. Why? Yes? What is it, Tauno-kun? Why do you go so far, Senpai? I don't have any right to be treated kindly by you. I killed someone. I can't have someone taking care of me. I'm hopeless. I made a very big mistake just then, and I ran away without taking responsibility. I was even considering just dying. I'm trying to cling on to Senpai. That sin, that life I took with my own hands. I'm trying to make it something that didn't happen in my mind. The mistake I made is unforgivable. No, I don't think it should be forgiven. That's why I'm hopeless. I have no right to be treated well by you here, Senpai. Senpai sighs. Seems you're convinced that you're a bad person, Tauno-kun, she answers simply. Senpai grasps the truth lying deep within me. But that just shows you have no confidence in your actions. You gotta be confident when you cut someone up into 17 pieces. You know you made a mistake, but you don't understand whether it's good or bad. That's why you have no choice but to drive yourself into a corner until things become clear to you. No, that's... I don't know. But yeah, I am taking the fact that I did it, yet I still don't understand why. I've killed someone, and that makes me a bad person. Maybe I've just been forcing myself into the role of a villain as I try to confirm where my sin lies. I don't know what your mistake is, and to put it bluntly, I don't care. You say you have no right to kindness, but that's just your point of view. I'm not being kind to you for your sake, so please don't worry about it. Well, I mean, I'm doing this because I want to. It has nothing to do with your circumstances. It may be a bother to you, but please just think of yourself as having been caught by a mean-spirited senpai and give up. Saying this, senpai smiles. That soft, protective, faint smile. I can hear the sound of rain. In the end, I couldn't shake off senpai's kindness after all. She lets me use the bathroom and prepares pajamas for me. She treats me to dinner and she lends me a bed because it's raining outside and I'm about to go to sleep like this. My throat feels blocked. Senpai has taken care of me so much my senses feel numb. During dinner, she spoke cheerfully like she always does. She raised all the usual subjects about school, about what the many shops in the business district are, and so on. And although I couldn't give her even one proper answer, every time I responded, I felt a little bit of myself coming back. Right now, I'm sleeping in Senpai's bed and can't stop thinking about Senpai who's sleeping on the floor. What a turn of events. I killed someone only hours ago, and now I'm getting excited like a normal student. My senses really do feel numb. I didn't think I could ever be showered in happiness like this ever again. I can't sleep, so I just look around. I don't know what I should do next. I can hear the sound of the downpour outside. They're going to be late tomorrow if you don't hurry up and sleep, Tono-kun. Senpai, you're awake? Yes, I can't sleep until you do. I'm a girl, after all. Let's not bring that sort of thing up again, please. I'm sorry. I'll sleep in the kitchen then. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? You've got a cold, so you can't sleep in a place like the kitchen. It's alright, so please just hurry up and forget your unpleasant thoughts so you can go to sleep. Unpleasant thoughts? That's impossible. That's not something I can forget, if it's something I shouldn't forget. Whatever the reason, I killed someone. To forget about the person I killed would be a sin deep beyond imagination. No, I can't just gloss over my sins, Senpai. I can't forget about them, and I won't try to. But thanks. You really helped me with all sorts of things today. I really might have died if I stayed like that. That would be running away. If I really think I had made a mistake, I shouldn't deny it. Sins, you say? Seems like your mistaken is something unimaginable for me. Senpai speaks in a cheerful voice, like she's telling a joke. But there's no such thing as a human who doesn't commit sin. It's not like the world is divided into sinners and the innocent. As long as you're alive, you'll make mistakes. It's sad, but it's unavoidable. To live is to be worn down. We are only beings who influence the other things while we fade away ourselves. What? Then you're saying we're beyond salvation? I don't like that story about how everyone else makes mistakes. Yeah, you're minimizing my individual experience here, CL. I find that insulting. Yes, I guess we can't be saved if that were the case. But you can atone for your sins. There are only people who can and who cannot atone for their sins. I think those beyond salvation are those who cannot atone for their sins. For some reason, Senpai's voice sounds very sad. But you can atone for your sins, Tono-kun. I don't know what kind of mistake you made, but you are the kind of person who can atone for your sins. If you are too worried to sleep, then just think about how you intend to live and atone for your sins from now on. It's a really hard thing to come up with, so your brain is sure to tire out, and you'll fall asleep. I don't know how serious she is, and she seems to be throwing two jokes into the same sentence. Into the mix, sorry. I can atone for my sins, huh? But, Senpai, my mistake is definitely one that can't be atoned for. There's something I can say for sure. That's right. No matter what form it takes, sin cannot be atoned for. If you injure someone, the sin is not gone even if you heal the wound, is it? No matter how hard you try, you can't erase the mistakes you've made. I think atoning is not about the results, but about the process. That's what I mean by those who atone for those and who don't. That's why you're the kind of person who can atone for your sins. I don't understand. I'm a terrible person. I'm not the great person you think I am. I can easily see that. I was really moved just then. You have a terrible wound on your chest, right? Huh? Yeah, but what about it? You must have had a serious accident to get a scar. I like that. Scars tend to distort your mind. Distort your mind? A wound that size, which doesn't disappear, is a little out of the ordinary. But you're a very natural person. Anyone with that kind of wound who can lead a normal life can be proud of his own strength. I wouldn't call Shiki's life normal. You must have had a very proper childhood. Satisfied, Senpai concludes her musings and falls silent. I can hear her even breathing if I strain my ears. Are you asleep, Senpai? There is no reply. I can only hear the sound of the rain falling from outside. Atone for my sins, huh? Punishment to fit the sin I had committed. I guess they'll find the body of the girl I'd killed tomorrow, and there will be a new serial killer story on the news. I can't even begin to count the things I'll lose when that happens. Yeah, she's trying to invite Shiki to her sermon. Come join Bible Club. Dum. I can't even begin to count the things I'll lose when that happens. It'll be trouble for Akia for sure, and I'll never be able to talk like senpai like this again. Yeah, I would never want Shiki in a church. He just caused a lot of problems. Actually, never mind. Causing a lot of problems for this church is a net good. But if that would atone for my sin, then I have no choice but to accept it. If I can atone for my sin with that, then there might be salvation somewhere. Ah, I feel a little sleepier. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know, but if I can be forgiven, until the moment that my sin is discovered, until the moment I'm confronted with my sin. I wish I could keep living this kind of life. Yeah, you're in the stage between innocent sin and eternal punishment. Enjoy it and relish this time you have before you get to the Persona 2 sequel. Foomp. Shh. There's a noise coming from nearby. I don't feel like waking up at all, but I could lazily open my eyes in reaction to the noise. Oh no, oh boob. Senpai is changing. It's still the middle of the night. There's no light coming in from the window. This is the non-arrow version, right? I'm just double checking. Yes, okay. Just double checking. All right, this is not erotic content. This is just a little tease. Maybe the rain stopped. It's very quiet now. Senpai is taking off her clothes. Just in case I gotta queue up a thing. What a shame. If I wasn't in such a deep state of regret over the murder I've committed or have asleep, I would be able to fully appreciate. I would be able to fully appreciate how sexy Senpai looks. Very cool, Shiki. Very normal. Right now, though, my head doesn't seem to function properly. Senpai's eyes look lifeless. More importantly, there's something strange. What is that? Oh, it's the cool tattoos. For when she uses the pile bunker. There are odd bruises on... Yeah, those are bruises, all right, Shiki. That's what you call those. No, those aren't bruises. More like tattoos. There's something not right about this. Oh no, he's getting the murder instinct again. I feel sleepy again. I think a lot of things are cluttered around Senpai's feet. Why are you looking at her feet now, Shiki? What are you doing now? What are you thinking about feet? But that's it. I fall into a deep sleep. That was a plot important shirt taking off. Not an arrow shirt taking off. Ah, the Black Beast. The sunlight streaming through the window wakes me. Maybe the rain stopped. I can't hear it anymore. It seems the sky outside is cloudy. The sunlight isn't what you would call bright. Eh? I look around. This is obviously not my room. Ah, good morning. Did you sleep well last night, Tono-kun? Ah! I remember now. This is Senpai's room. I had borrowed her bed for the night. Yeah, good morning, Senpai. I would be extremely worried if someone with mystic eyes of death perception looked at someone's feet and like all of their death points were concentrated there. That would be concerning. Becoming extremely embarrassed, I hop off the bed. Sorry about yesterday. I caused you all sorts of trouble and... Yes, you owe me one. Senpai replies with a smile. How do I put this? She seems very mature. Anyhow, thanks. I'll be going home now. Oh, really? It's barely 6 o'clock, Tono-kun. Yes, but I didn't get permission to stay the night away from home yesterday, so if I don't hurry back to the mansion, there's no telling what Akio will say. Ah, your little sister. Well, I've already called her, so it should be okay. Senpai delivers her earth-shattering statement with casual air. What? You called my house, Senpai? Yes. I thought it wouldn't be right if I didn't contact them about you staying over. Is that a problem? What? I'm lost for words. CL Senpai calling my house means a girl has called my house, saying, Tono-kun is staying over at my place. That's, well, yes, it is a problem, a big problem. If Aki had been the one who had picked up the phone, she's going to think I'm some kind of playboy. Given the severity of the Tono household, I don't even want to imagine what would happen if she found out about that sort of thing. Tono-kun, did you really hate staying at my house that much? No, that's not it. It's just that my house is really strict. It's definitely not because I don't like you, Senpai. He's saying the opposite of the tsundere thing. It's because he likes you, Baka. Flustered, I try to explain the misunderstanding. Senpai closes her eyes sadly. Is it because I caused her so much trouble last night? I feel so bad when I see her make an expression like that. I'm telling you, that's not it. I'm really grateful to you, Senpai. I'm feeling much better now, and if you hadn't been there for me last night, I don't know what would have happened to me. Yes, you're right. You look like you're back to normal now. I don't know what happened last night, but I'm glad you're feeling better. Suddenly, Senpai gives the biggest smile anyone could possibly give. Eh? I was just joking. Even I wouldn't directly call your house. Oh my god. You got played, Shiki. I asked Inuit-kun to call your house and tell them that you were staying with him last night. There should be no problem with that, right? Yeah, that should be no problem, but that was kind of a mean joke, Senpai. I thought my heart was going to stop. Yes, I'm actually pretty mean. Pick on the ones you like, right? Huh? Ones you like? You just got punked, Shiki. There's hidden cameras all over my house. Then that means... But it's strange you should go home early. Please hold on for a second. Senpai rummages around in her drawers for something. Here you go, Tono-kun. It's a little gift for you. Saying that, Senpai hands me an old-looking ring. A little gift. What is it, Senpai? It's a protective charm. You seem to be dangerously spaced out a lot, so please hold on to it. Yeah, I'll take anything that's given to me, but alright. I'll take good care of it. Accepting the ring, I put it in my pocket. Alright, I'll see you at school. Senpai sees me off with a smile, but that smile is one I might never see again. The woman I killed might be found already, and police might already be at the mansion. But I can't run away from it. All I can do is thank Senpai and return to the Tono mansion. To say the results first, the mansion is as it always was. Ah, welcome home, Shiki-san. As I enter the lobby, Kohaku-san greets me with a smile. Yeah, I'm home. Kohaku-san, do you want breakfast? I'll have it ready soon, so please wait in the sitting room. Akio-sama was just finished hers. Kohaku-san patters off towards the sitting room. It's too peaceful. Maybe they haven't found the body yet. For now, I head towards my own room to change. Hisui is in my room when I return. Good morning, Shiki-sama. It seems you have returned. Yeah, just now. Listen, Hisui, do I have a spare uniform? The one I'm wearing now is soaked from yesterday's rain. I understand. I'll have one prepared immediately. Hisui bows and silently leaves the room. After changing into the uniform Hisui brings me, I head towards the sitting room. A disappointed-looking Akiya is sitting on the sofa in the sitting room. Oh, good morning, Nissan. It seems you have returned. Akiya's voice contains thorns filled with blame. Yeah, good morning. You look kind of grumpy this morning, Akiya. I like this expression. Yes, I was unaware you spend the night elsewhere quite often. I am more astounded than angry. Akiya glares at me. It's true I spent the night somewhere, so I can't argue. Well, I suppose there was no helping if you weren't feeling well. The one called Inui-san is your friend from middle school, isn't he? Yeah, I see, so he was the one who called you. Suddenly, I feel uneasy. Just what did he say when he called my house? Besides, even if you had to leave school early, you could have just called me and I would have sent a car to pick you up. I don't know why you are so reserved, but you are the eldest son of the Tono household, Nissan. Please use everything at your disposal. Besides, your body is weaker than that of a normal person. Oh yeah, I left school early yesterday. I collapsed from anemia just by getting soaked from the rain. Are you not feeling well, Nissan? Shall I have the family doctor examine you and send you to and from school in a car from now on? I see. So that was the reason I was supposedly staying at Arihiko's house. It's nothing for you to worry about, Akiya. I go to the hospital once a month like I'm supposed to. Taking me to school by car is just going to dull my body even further. There's no need for you to be that sensitive about my body, although I'm glad you're worried about me. That's not true. I'm not worried about you at all, Nissan. Akiya subtly avoids looking at me. Shiki-san, it's ready! I can hear Kohaku-san's voice from the dining room. Right, so I'm gonna get some grub. Oh, Nissan, please refrain from talking in such an unrefined manner. Akiya shoots me a sharp glare. You're acting normally again. That's how you should be, Akiya. You don't have to worry about me, so you can just relax. You are so persistent. I am not worried about you, Nissan. Akiya quickly looks away. She's a terrible liar. Looking at her with a faint smile, I go to the dining room. Please take care. Saying the same thing as she always does, she continues to stare at me. Shiki-sama, what happened to you last night? Nothing in particular. I collapsed from anemia when it started to rain on me. I'll be careful from now on. I am not placing any blame on you, Shiki-sama, but you look like you are pushing yourself this morning. Please take care along the way. Hisui makes a deep bow and sees me off. Oh man. I tried to act as normally as I could, and although I didn't give myself away to Akiya and Kohaku-san, it didn't seem to have worked on Hisui. I wonder if Hisui is worried about me. It's hard to tell when she looks so disinterested all the time. Today might be my last day of school anyways. I'll try to spend it as I always do, so I won't have any regrets. No matter how I feel, the morning is always the same. As I approach the school, I begin to catch sight of more and more students in uniform. It's Saturday, right before the day off. My footsteps falter as I think about how this may be my last school day ever. But still, as calmly as I can, I walk along the road that has become so familiar to me over the last 2 years. Which chapter are we in? We're on day 3, and I am doing CL's route. We're zooming through these early days a little bit because there's a lot of scenes I can skip. In fact, let me check something. Okay. I see. I was just checking something real quick. I was checking the route guide real quick to see what's coming up. I know what's coming up in the story, obviously, but just to see if there are any major differences I should be on the lookout for. And it seems like we're gonna get a lot of stuff we've seen before coming up. But still, as calmly as I can, I walk along the road that has become so familiar to me over the last 2 years. It's only a little way to the school once I pass this intersection. The light turns red, and I stop in front of the crosswalk. The school fence is on the other side of it. Since it's a school path, the footpath is protected by a guardrail. Even now, the students in front of me are heading towards the school gate. There's no one but students from our school on the other side at this time of day. There should be no one but the students, but between the cars rushing by, I feel like I catch a glimpse of someone in white. There she is again. Unkilled, unmurdered. Well, she is there, dressed in white with golden hair down to her shoulders, long, slender brows and red eyes. I've seen her only once before, but there's no way I could mistake her for someone else. But that's impossible. I killed her myself yesterday, cutting her into pieces. The light turns green. The students around me walk towards the other side. I'm the only one amongst them who stands there stunned. She sits on the guardrail, her legs swinging idly, as if she is waiting for someone. I can't tell how long she's been waiting, but her expression isn't a grim one. Who is she waiting for? She fidgets restlessly, as if she were waiting for her lover. I have a bad feeling about this. Ah, the girl in white looks over in my direction. It's probably nothing more than a coincidence. She's just a stranger who looks like her. She must be waiting for someone else. If not, then this moment must surely be a bad dream too. After all, I have completely and utterly killed her with my own hands. But she's looking this way and smiling, looking very satisfied at having found the person who killed her. Her smile seems to say, "You finally come." Giving a familiar wave and a smile, she hops off the guardrail. Fluttering her hair, she heads towards me. Don't come. This is a bad dream. The light turns red. Don't come near me. She doesn't even look like she cares, walking straight across the street while the cars pass by. There's only a few meters between us. I'm telling you not to come. The reality before my eyes does not change even when I scream out. Screaming in a voice I don't understand, I run from the girl in white. Alright, time to get chased to a familiar alley. I run. I run with all my strength. With no regard to embarrassment or shame, I blast through the passerby, running full speed across the asphalt. My breathing is wild and my heart screams out. But still I run. I feel like I'm going to go crazy if I don't. I look behind me. The girl in white is walking towards me. She's definitely following me. The girl I've killed is chasing me. That's more than enough reason for me to run. My heart feels like it's about to explode, but I ignore it and keep running. When I look back, the girl is still there. With those light footsteps, she follows me as I run away. My head droops down. My arms feel heavy. My legs feel like they're going to tear off. Mom's spaghetti. But despite that, I'm running with all my strength, and yet I can't get away from someone just walking after me. My breathing is out of control. I think I've already run several kilometers. But even so, when I look back, she's always there, walking towards me. Naturally, like she's taking a stroll, she follows right behind me. It's not funny, but I begin to laugh. I can't stop laughing, but even so, I run. My body complains that I'll die if I run anymore, but I keep running. The reason is simple. If she catches me, she'll kill me for sure. I ask myself what I base that on, trying to shake it off as mere imagination. But even as I try to console myself, I'm the one who knows best it's true. There's no reason, no basis, no evidence. I already know that if she catches up to me, I will be killed. Wonder if Ark is an antagonist in this route? No, I don't think it'll go that way. I think it's more like Ark and Seal will kind of switch positions, where like Seal only showed up a couple times when I did Arkwood's route, so I think it'll be the other way around, where I'm mostly hanging out with Seal after this part, and Ark only shows up occasionally. I don't think she'll be someone Shiki has to fight. Ah! Pathetically, I collapse to the ground. I fall forwards, not because I tripped, but because I simply can't move my body a single step further. Lying there, I collapsed, somehow managed to crawl my way to the wall. I try to pull myself up against the wall, but it's no good. My knees lose their strength as I try to rise, and I collapse back down. My body won't move anymore. I look up as I breathe. It hurts. I don't have enough oxygen. I can't think properly because of it. I can't even tell what I'm doing anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? Why? I don't even know why the girl I've killed is alive. Unmistakably, I've utterly and completely killed her in the most final way imaginable, so why? How could she be waiting for me in front of my school, smiling? I'm sure I killed her. That's right. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her. I'm sure I killed her, so why? Oh, is the chase over already? With light footsteps, she comes into the alley, shrugging her shoulders in disappointment. Hello, you really gave me some trouble yesterday. With a warm smile, she comes into the alley. I've got to run away, so thinking I retreat only to hit my head against a concrete wall. Good one, Cheeky. The chase is already over, right? This is a dead end after all. There's no need to worry about anyone coming along or interfering. She smiles, looking very happy. Panicking, I look around at my surroundings. A desolate alley. I'm disgusted at how stupid I am. To run away here is like asking her to kill me. It's been a long time. 18 hours since then. I finally found you. She takes another step into the alley. You? What? I definitely... Yes, I'm the girl you killed yesterday. I'm glad you remember. That's got to be a lie. There's no way that can happen. Don't be ridiculous. Dead people can't be alive. Clap for it. Clap for it. We read it again. That's true, but there's no need for you to be so surprised. I just revived, that's all. With that curt response, she takes another step, the sound of it reaching my ears. It's interesting that it's not giving me the prompt to skip this scene this time, but I guess it's because maybe it has different like triggers involved, so it doesn't count as the same scene. Not a big deal. The distance between us is gradually decreasing. Revived? Stunned, I repeat her phrase back to her. Revived? You mean some doctor saved her with some surgery? Don't be stupid. There's no way any human could revive from being cut apart like that. Yeah, then again, I'm not human. Huh? Her words are so simple, there's no way I could have misinterpreted them. I'm not human. That's what the girl in front of me said. You're not human? Jeez, isn't that obvious? Do you think there's a human being out there who can revive after being cut up into pieces? There's no way a human like that could exist. Something like that is just a monster who looks human. Something that revives even when killed. Something that death is irrelevant to. Something that quickly returns to normal and starts moving after being cut to pieces isn't something you can call human. No way. That seems to be the girl right before my eyes. I try to laugh, but my throat is so dry I can't. What the hell is that? It's not exactly a funny story. Besides, there's too many things in this story that aren't funny. Because definitely, if she's not human, it explains why she's alive even after I've killed her. I start to calm down. This is a situation where I've got to observe everything and think it over. You said you're not human, so what are you? Me? I'm called a vampire. To put it in your terms, I'm a monster who lives off human blood. That's good. Vampire is at least something I can easily understand. I see. You're a vampire. She smiles in satisfaction to indicate her assent. What a crazy reply. I've heard that vampires can't walk around during daytime, but I guess that's a trivial matter right now. So what does this monster want from me? For some reason, she recoils as if surprised. After a moment, she puts her hands on her hips and looks at me, irritated. Have you forgotten what you did to me yesterday? Even though you don't know me, you cut me apart the moment we met. You've got to be pretty used to this to ask me what I want with you now. She looks more disgusted than angry. But right now, that's how I feel too. Because someone I've killed is complaining to me about killing her. Hey, are you listening, murderer? Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry, could you shut up for just a minute? Classic. Classic Tono. I'm reflecting on how unlucky this is, even for me. Oops. Sheesh. I have the worst luck. There was a girl I wanted to kill for no reason, and I killed her on pure impulse. I agonized it over in deep despair, and even though I firmly decided to atone for my sins, the one I killed appears out of nowhere and says she isn't even human. Ah, now we can skip. Okay. Okay, I want to see if I get something funny by choosing... Because I just said I'd cooperate when I did this the first time. I want to see... I want to see if something funny happens if I try to escape. Let's try to escape somehow. It's impossible. I was almost killed by just one black dog. That's right. One of Nero's dogs attacked us, and Arkwood saved us in that scene we just skipped. If I become her lookout, who knows what'll happen next? Hey, hurry up and answer. I don't think I'm being unreasonable here. She doesn't understand. It's evident she can't see that she's recklessness incarnate. If I get involved further with her, she'll drag me past the point of no return. I've got to find a chance to escape. All right, I'll listen to what you've got to say. Putting my hand on the wall, I somehow managed to stand up on my own. I've got to pass through that small road if I'm going to get to the main street from here. Fortunately, it's further away from her than it is from me. If I set off while pretending to talk, I can probably make it to the main street. Oh yeah, we still don't even know each other's names yet. I guess it is a bit too fast to ask you to cooperate with me. She nods in agreement. Isn't it? If you tell me more details, I might agree to help. Really? Then what should we talk about first? How about the vampire incident that's got this town in an uproar? Or maybe I should explain what we'll be doing from now on. She makes a serious face while she thinks. This is my only chance. Whoop, 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 whoop. I run as fast as I can. I run to the road that leads to the main road in one breath. Huh? I can hear her voice from behind me, but it's too late. Now I'll definitely be able to escape. Huh? That's strange. As I take a few steps forward, I fall down hard on the ground. Hey, what are you doing? She comes over, giving me a look filled with amazement. Sorry, this is a weird sentence. She comes over, giving me a look more filled with amazement than concern. Nothing. I just wanted to run for a bit. It seems she hasn't realized I was trying to escape. I get up, but... Ow! I feel an incredible pain in the joints of my foot. I can't get up. I guess I was a bit too hard on you back there. Sorry. If I had softened the blow a bit when I pushed you, you might have not have sprained your foot like that. Might not. Listen, you. I wanted to complain about her pushing me, but if she hadn't, the black dot would be chewing on my neck by now, and that would have been the end of me. This music is pretty fitting. Just for normal Arkwood moments. It's okay. I'm grateful. Thank you. But why did you want to start running? Weren't we having a conversation? No, that's... I can't exactly say it was a matter of convenience. She stares at me. This is bad. You'd have to be a real idiot not to understand what I was doing. Hey, that was an indication you wanted to cooperate with me back then, right? I can't answer. I said I would listen to her, but not cooperate. I don't want to lie. Answering her question requires a definitive no. Just so you know, I know what sort of person you are. Don't give me a half-hearted response. If you run away now, I'll be going to your house next. What? That means she's going to come to the mansion even if I escaped from here. She's got me. If that were to happen, it wouldn't just be my problem. Akiya, Hisui, and Kohaku-san might be attacked by this crazy person, too. What a mess. It's like I never had a choice in the first place. How funny for a choice-based visual novel. Well, I don't mind either way. The vampire's familiar has already seen you, so you'll be surely attacked. If you go around by yourself, you might act as a decoy, too. Well, hey, don't tell me that. Yes, that familiar recognized you as being on my side. And that means I'll be attacked by those things like... Be attacked by things like that even if I don't help her. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna keep watch while I sleep, or are you going to drive off those familiars by yourself? The results are going to be the same. I can't do anything but nod. You swindler. Sighing, I nod to indicate that I will help her. Okay, our contract is established. Where did all that anger from just a moment ago disappear to? Speaking in a cheerful tone, she extends her hand to me. I guess I can finally introduce myself now. I'm Arkwood. My last name is really long, so just Arkwood is fine for now. I'm a true ancestor-type vampire. How about you? I heave a heavy sigh at her unprecedented introduction. It's a sigh of resignation, evidence I've decided to accept this nonsensical situation. I'm Tonoshiki. Sadly, I'm just your everyday student. I've said it before, but I'm really not going to be much use. Grasping her Arkwood's hand, I stand up. She takes a long, hard look at me and then offers me her hand again. Nice to meet you, Shiki. I'll have you take responsibility for killing me. Arkwood grins as she extends her left hand. There's all sorts of responsibilities in this world, but this is probably the first and last time someone takes responsibility by helping someone they've killed. Damn it. Do whatever you want. But there's nothing else I can do. I grudgingly extend my left hand and shake hands with the woman in white claiming to be a vampire. As we walk out of the back alley, she, Arkwood, knits her eyebrows and it gives me a suspicious look. Hey, Shiki, are you a Christian by any chance? That's not just something you can ask people, Arkwood. Come on now. I have no idea what she's talking about. No, wait. Please don't spell it like that. Chris Chan? Oh, God. Oh, no. No, definitely not that one. What's with that question all of a sudden? I don't know any girl who's got a name like that. I see. Then I must have misunderstood. After seeming to have made a decision, she turns towards the office district. Okay, let's go. We've got to find a safe place for now. Arkwood begins walking. You think that dialogue was edited? I don't know, because, like, it seems like an easy mistake to make if you're a native Japanese speaker. You would hear Christian as Chris Chan, but it could easily also be a joke. It's like a joke that doubles as making sense. Okay, there's no way I can back out now. Sighing, I follow after her. I have already viewed this scene. Let's try escaping again. This is probably good. This one is almost certainly probably going to lead to a bad ending of some sort, but I want to see what it's like. I still want to continue living in the proper, respectable world. I do feel responsible for killing Arkwood, but I think there's something wrong about being forced to do something I can't do. But again, Arkwood is asleep. She's trusting me, someone who's killed her once already, and sleeping peacefully. Damn it. But even so, I can't do it. I quietly start to walk. Turning my back to Arkwood, sleeping with complete faith in me, I leave the hotel room. Oh yeah, and then we're just gonna get murked by Nero. The corridor is silent. We're on the 11th floor, the top floor in the hotel. Since she rented out the whole floor, there are no other guests here. I still feel a tinge of indecisiveness, but I shake it off and press the elevator button. Oh, never mind. Well, okay, there's still time. Taking the train from the hotel, I return to town. It's just past noon. School is about to finish, so I think it's probably okay for me to head back to the mansion. All the same, I don't feel like going back to the mansion. I decided to the park to cool my head for a bit. Sitting down on the bench, I vacantly stare up into the sky. The sky is still cloudy, much like the scenery within my own heart. I wonder if she's still sleeping, believing in me. I've killed her once, and yet she said she would forgive me. She had forgiven me, and yet, what am I doing here? Last night, After I killed Arkwood, I swore to myself that I would atone for it no matter what. Was that an oath I could break when my life is in danger? Was that all it was? Kah, but I do want to live. That is a problem that I can't ignore as long as I'm alive. And it's not something I can easily dismiss as a moment of passion and forget about it. That power is yours. But that is the very reason why you must never forget. I recall those precious words from long, long ago. She, Sensei, what did she say to me? There's still time. The sun hasn't set yet. If I can return to the hotel before the sun sets, I'll probably still make it in time. Damn it. I can't throw away my doubts. In the end, I value my life. I recall the scene yesterday when I killed Arkwood. The stench of death and blood. I never want to experience something like that again. If I were to remain with Arkwood, there'd be no question that I would be subjugated to that scene again. If I don't want that, I'll have to go back to the mansion. I get the feeling that there's some major flaw in my decision, but right now everything is a mess in my head and my sense of logic refuses to function properly. It's almost like there's someone controlling my decisions, pointing me towards bad things on purpose because he thinks it'd be funny. Anyhow, for now, I'll return to my own room for some rest. I'm sure I'll calm down and think clearer then. The sun has gone down and my surroundings have been cast into darkness. It's probably past 7 now. The curfew for the mansion is 8, so I'd better hurry back if I don't want to be scolded by Akiya. Yeah, we're gonna get owned right here, I bet. The streets around the mansion are deserted like always. The sun's only just gone down, but the silence is like that of midnight. Come to think of it, this place is where I've gone to check out that noisy stray dog the night I first returned to the mansion. Huh? I'm beset by a terrible premonition of misfortune. Strange. Suddenly, my surroundings become completely black. I hear a dripping sound. Where's that sound coming from? It's coming from nearby. My body is starting to cool. It's coming from nearby. Alarms are going off somewhere in my head. Drip, 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 drip. The sound, I think it's coming from right behind my neck. Ah! I collapse onto the asphalt. My limbs won't move and my consciousness dims. No. Don't. No, I told you not to face front again. I told you not to front profile towards me ever again, Nero. He's back. The bottom of my thinning consciousness, all I find out is a few black dogs are feeding on my arms and legs. Ah, we got caught. All right, let's see what. I knew this would happen. I was just curious about what it would look like. Let's take Seal Senpai's lesson. Teach me, Seal Sensei. Bonjour! This corner is for the bad Tono-kun, who rather easily ended up at a dead end. It is time for Teach Me, Seal Sensei. I'll be seeing a lot of each other from now on, so please give me your best regards. By the way, my students are the thousands of Tono-kuns who are out there all over the country, and what now? What's with this difference in our treatment? Tsukihime's main heroine, Arkwood-san. Now, will we start first period? Goodness, this won't do at all, Tono-kun. This dead end is just too much, right? I know exactly how you feel when you do not wish to make friends with that suspicious vampire, but you've just got to bear with it here. In order to live, one must have endurance, and they say that if you can't beat him, join him. Please, just try to demonstrate the Japanese quality of not being able to say no. It's a Canadian quality too, so I've heard. Oh, and since you ended up being dog food without a chance, you'll have to restart from an earlier point and do a makeup. Also, you have freedom to choose what response you make in the alley, but I think it's not as good idea to run away. Well, that's all for first period. Second period will be a lecture about wild animals. It will be called Shakes and Shivers in Animal Land. Well then, goodbye everyone. Yeah, I already saw second period. That was when I got eaten by a shark. Okay, let's load up the save. I can't leave her alone. Okay. I think I remember which one I chose. We'll choose the other one. It's suspicious. There's something very suspicious about how she says, I'm not going to break them. Not even just to look at. I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is where she asks about seeing the glasses, and then Shiki explains that Alko gave them to him. And she's like, oh, I know about that crazy wizard lady. Everybody does. Not even just to look at. I know about your ridiculous powers after seeing you in that alley. What would I do if you crushed them by accident? Hey, what do you mean ridiculous powers? Let me tell you, in terms of non-fighting strength, you're stronger than I am. I won't break things at random. Saying that, Arkwood extends her hands as if she is about to take them by force. Her attitude is becoming more and more suspicious. I bounce up off the bed to get away from her. See, in the previous route, I was very appeasing towards Arkwood because I wanted to get her first, and now I can be mean to her. Hey, you're running away! Of course! I'll tell you now, I'm not handing over these glasses. Even if there's only 1 million chance you'll break them, they're irreplaceable to me. After all, you're the one who said I wouldn't be able to stay sane without these glasses. Do you want me to go crazy? Huh? No, that's not it at all. Arkwood is obviously trying not to look at me. Come on, Arkwood. I don't know what you're planning, but if I lose these glasses, I won't be in any position to help you. If I were to see the lines 24 hours a day, I think I'd die from the headache before I'd go mad. Okay, that was just a short little variance. I like seeing all the little variants, and also just because it's more interesting than just me skipping scenes over and over. Yep, if I stay inside, that's another bad end. I got that one before. You get eaten by one of Nero's sharks. Alright, I've decided what to do from the very beginning. Taking the knife out of my pocket, I walk up to the door. Shiki, I'm going to check things out. Don't leave this room until I come back. I step out into the hallway, shaking off Arkwood's look that she wants to say something. No one is in the hallway. So apparently there's going to be a divergence here. That has to do with CL. Looking at the flowchart again. Okay. I'm on the right track if this is a new scene? Yeah, that's what I figured. I've gotten all the CL points so far. No one is in the hallway. I couldn't hear from inside, but the hallway is noisy. It's not that this floor is noisy. Rather, the noise is coming from beneath my feet. There is some kind of ruckus on the floor below. I can hear the noise of many people talking. That's odd. It's just past 4 in the morning. Even on the assumption some people have woken up early, it's not normal for this many people to be up at this hour. Doesn't look strange so far. I walk down the hallway. The noise from downstairs is like the sound of ocean waves. Noisy, and yet so very solitary and inactive. My fingers gripping the knife feel numb. A chill runs over the back of my neck. There's something near my temple. Pain emerges from the back of my eyes. And during it, I walk down the hallway. It hurts. My eyes hurt. My head grows heavy, and I feel a drifting sensation, like I'm about to collapse right here. Yeah, I know what this is. This is the feeling I get right before I collapse from anemia. Ugh. It hurts. It hurts. Unable to withstand it any longer, I remove my glasses. There are 2 elevators. One is stopped on the 1st floor, the other on the 5th. There is an unpleasant feeling in the air. A suffocating, tense sensation. I push the button to call the elevator. I just want to know what's going on downstairs for now. The elevator rises. 6th floor. 7th floor. 8th floor. 9th floor. Damn it, what's up with it? The elevator is awfully slow. Something, a shapeless, shadow-like premonition of something fatally irrevocable clings to me. 10th floor. Just one more floor until the elevator reaches this one. Hurry up. My breath catches. I realize all the noise I heard from below is now long gone. With a ridiculous electronic ding, the elevator arrives. The door opens. There is no one inside. The interior of the narrow steel box is surprisingly clean and tidy. Oh, we actually go in the elevator this time? I enter and press the button for the 10th floor. With a heavy noise, the elevator descends. Ooh, this is an interesting change because we just thought that like in the first time, Nero's dogs just came out of the elevator and attacked right there. Now we actually get to go down. Just one floor down, but it feels awfully far. The current floor display shifts to show the 10th floor. Finally, suddenly, the world is engulfed in darkness. Darkness, total darkness, pitch black, utterly without light. All I can see is the faint glimmer of the lines of death. Why? My breath freezes in my throat. From all around, some kind of rustling sound, like the sound of insects crawling around, can be heard. Rustle, 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 rustle. I am about to cry out, but I hold back my scream. First, I've got to examine the situation, just like Sensei taught me long ago. And then, think carefully. Taking a huge breath, I manage to calm my thoughts. I see a blackout, but a hotel like this should have been a backup generator for occasions like this. Something must be wrong with the cables, even if that's not working. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Gripping the knife, I tense up. The sound of the crawling insects is coming from around the elevator. It feels like there are hundreds of giant cockroaches clinging to the outside of the elevator. There's no point in staying here. The display stopped when the 10th floor was lit. Then it means that if I open the door, I should be at the 10th floor. Guess I'll cut it, I whisper to myself. Thrusting the knife into the only line I can see, I cut apart the door of the elevator. Ooh, neat. The instant the door opens, I am enveloped by a suffocating stench. The 10th floor is filled with it. It's so thick, just breathing it is enough to clog my airways. But even so, if I were to take a step outside, I would be on the 10th floor's hallway. In the distance, there is the faint glow of the lamp marking the 5th fire escape. Apart from that, the world is painted over in darkness. I take a step outside. Is anyone... I'm about to say there, but I stop. I don't quite know why, but I feel as though it would be a bad idea to raise my voice. I take another step. Slowly, I enter the hallway. The corridor reeks of the terrible smell. A raw smell, the smell of beasts. That, and a grinding sound coming from somewhere. There's been a stinging pain in my neck for a while now. The darkness is frightening. The silence is frightening. To find out what happened here is more frightening than anything else. The pain from the back of my neck running to the top of my spine holds back my nervousness. That throbbing pain, it's the price of my desperate attempts to repress the urge to just scream and flee. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Grind, grind, grind. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Ha! My breathing goes wild. My body is drenched in sweat. Knife in hand, I am unable to take another step. I have the feeling that if I were to move even a little, I would see something unimaginably horrible. But I'll really be in trouble if I don't get back upstairs. To stay on this floor is worse. It feels like each second passing is grinding a year off my life. That's how fast I feel death closing in on me. My breath comes quicker and heavier. Fortunately, I can see where the fire escape is thanks to the lamp. It's down the end of the hallway. If I can reach that green emergency light, I can go back upstairs. Gripping the knife, I set off down the dark hallway. Splash. I can hear something from beneath my feet. I guess the hallway is soaked in water. Yep, definitely water. In addition, my feet keep bumping into things as I walk. Even so, I stay silent. Bearing with the terrible stench smothering me, I head for the emergency light. Only a few more meters to go. Then, I see something squirming beneath the emergency light. Eh? I break my silence. A squishing, lukewarm sound. A dry, grinding sound. The wild, panting breath of beasts. Yeah, it's pretty gross. What? Under the green light of the fire escape, all sorts of animals are swarming around some human-shaped object. I can't tell what sort of animals are eating it. The hallway is dark and the emergency light is too weak. That's why all I can gather is this image. Numerous cockroaches are devouring the human corpse while emitting a laughing, buzzing sound. That's the only way I can make sense of this nightmare. Rustle. There is a noise coming from the direction of the elevator. Ha! I turn around. Perhaps it's because my eyes have adjusted to the darkness, or maybe it's thanks to the light from the fire escape, but I now see exactly what sort of condition the hallway I just passed through is in. Not good, I'm gonna bet that. The hallway is a sea of red. Lying around within that sea are human arms and legs. The soaked hallway, scraggy, hard objects which I felt on my legs. It must have been what I was stepping on. My mind goes blank. The hallway is red only on the floor. Clinging to the ceiling and walls are all sorts of black things. It's not because there are no lights that they look black. They are black to begin with. They don't seem to have any solid shape, sticking to the ceiling and walls like some sort of liquid. But I know that they are animals from the eyes. The glinting eyes of the many beast-like forms are trained on me, the only surviving human. Ah! I manage to suppress my scream. The beasts are staring at me intently. They hold their breath, waiting to assault me the moment I scream out. Ah! I manage to regulate my ragged breathing. I can feel it, awfully so, that the moment I cry out, they'll all attack me at once. None of the creatures on the wall possess the same eyes. It's almost ridiculous to see even shark-like eyes clinging to the wall. I order my feet to move, but they won't budge an inch. I can't move. My feet will not move after having seen a world like this. Grind, grind. The noise from beneath the emergency light grows smaller. The beasts are probably finishing off the corpse. My breath catches. The rustling draws closer. It seems the creatures found their next prey called Tono Shiki. Ah, but my legs would not move. This world is too different. My mind doesn't operate properly. I've made a mistake. I shouldn't have come to this floor. Then, I can hear a terribly familiar sound. The very normal sound of human footsteps. A completely normal, common-sense sound from the world I lived in until a moment ago. Ah! My numbed mind infuses strength into my paralyzed legs. I run. Kicking up soaked blood in the hallway, I dash towards the emergency lights. Run! I have to get away from this place as fast as possible. But that was a mistake. Reacting to my dash, the black things clinging to the wall and ceilings crash after me like a wave. I dash towards the stairs with everything I have. But the black wave is so many times faster than I am, and in an instant my body is not consumed. Squeak, squeak. With a cry, the black wave halts before my eyes. Huh? I don't get it. I don't get it, but this is probably my last chance. I run towards the stairs. Instead of running towards me, the beasts beneath the emergency light are heading towards the elevator I was just in, towards the sound of footsteps. Ahead of the animals, I can hear what sounds like a kitchen knife slicing vegetables. Something, a human silhouette, is slashing the black animals. Huh? But I don't have time to discern its identity. Using my hands and feet, I rush up the fire stairs like a dog. I climb back up to the 11th floor. The surroundings are still pitch black, but here there is no trace of that stench. The raw stench of beasts, blood, and entrails. Ah. I manage to get up and trace along the wall. I walk back towards Arquid's room. The lights come back on. This floor is still as it was before. The only thing that's different is me, splattered here and there in human blood. My pants are completely red, as if they had been crimson to begin with. Red flecks are all over me. My arms and chest, even my face. Ha ha! So that's how it was. I should have realized it when I was in front of the elevator the moment the noises from downstairs ceased. At that point, there was no longer anyone else still alive. Ha ha! What was that? What was that just now? A sea of blood. If the floor below this one was like that, what were the other floors like? What was that scene of carnage? What was that scene of hell? This and that and this and that, all of it has been the work of the enemy Arquid was talking about? My teeth grind together. They clench together so tightly it feels like they're going to shatter. My body is still trembling. My consciousness is still numb. But more than all of that, I can't accept that spectacle. What was that just then? What, all these incomprehensible animals devoured all the guests staying on the lower floors? Have they all been killed and eaten? One-sidedly, pointedlessly killed without a chance to argue, escape, or even call for help? You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. I clench the knife tightly, and then, with a cheerful electronic ding, the elevator, which stopped on the 10th floor, reaches this one. I turn back to face the elevator, now about 10 meters down the hall. The door opens. Within are two... this is when we get the dogs. Okay, we just got an extended Nero segment. I see. You guys came after me. Huh. I gripped the knife with both hands. The black dogs burst out from the elevator. They break into a run. Of course, toward me, the last prey. Gross. Ha! The black dogs are coming for me. On their bodies, I can see an infinite number of lines, and on their foreheads, the point of death. Without hesitating, first, I stab the dog that leaps at me in the forehead. The black dog falls on the floor without even giving a scream. It melts into a black liquid. After that, the other black dog bounds towards me. It leaps. Its speed belies all human comparison. That's another grammatical error. It doesn't even take 2 seconds to cover the 10 meters down the hallway. I line up the knife again, but not quickly enough. The black dog opens his mouth. That mouth is filled with fangs so many times sharper than the knife I have, and they are aimed straight at my throat. Accurate and fast. The instant I realize they are drawing upon me, the fangs bite into my throat with a crunch. I die. But that's not right. I can't be killed by something like this, and I refuse to die. This tragedy would not cause me to hesitate. A hot summer's day. It happened long ago, 8 years ago. I've seen something even more terrible. Thrust. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the black dog, biting into my neck. My arm moved just before the black dog gripped through my throat. It was done rather perfectly, even for myself. Like a machine whose sole function is to cut, I plunged the knife into the dog's forehead without any useless or wasted movement, because that is where the first dog's point was. Normally, even if the brain is destroyed, the muscles try to execute the commands they have received from the brain. The black dog would have probably ripped through my throat even if I had simply pierced its head. Well, normally that would happen, but the black dog is dead. Death is a complete stoppage. At that point, when I killed it, it lost every form of validity. Wow. He fucking handled these dogs this time. The last time, his arm got, like, bit clean through, and Arkwood had to save him. The second black dog also collapses on the floor. Shiki went through this run with no damage whatsoever. I mean, except psychological. From all the blood and mortar and corpses. It becomes a black stain on the hotel's hallway. Haha. I am tired. With a thump, I lean my back against the wall and look up at the ceiling. My head hurts. The world becomes a patchwork, and here and there I can see the black points of death. My body is freezing, but my mind is burning feverishly. Right beside me lie the corpses of the two black dogs. One of my arms is covered in blood, the other clutches a red knife. Also, there are quite an uncountable numbers of dead bodies downstairs. Shiki won by charge JCing the dogs. That's right. Unbeatable move. Ha 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 ha. All I can do is laugh, because this isn't real. There's no way this can be real. At what point did I, with my eyes wide open, start seeing a nightmare? Ding dong. A terribly out-of-place, cheerful sound rings out. Damn it, what's with this headache? I stand up, enduring the pain in my head, and look toward the sound. Elevator? It seems the sound is the other elevator coming up. The door opens. Inside stands a man wearing a black coat. Our old friend Nero. Oh boy, he walking. The headache worsens. Yes, I've seen him before. I'm sure I've seen that man before. Silently, he walks towards me. You! I ready my knife as I glare at him. But he doesn't react at all as he walks toward me. It's as if he doesn't notice me at all. The distance between us shrinks, just a little more. When there's barely 1 meter between us, the man finally seems to notice me. Those bloodshot eyes. The instant I see those eyes, which no human should possess, I lose all freedom to move my body. I don't know. I'm more freaked out by that neck. I thought I killed everyone, but it seems like there's still someone left. The man turns and looks at the corpses of the two black dogs. You pieces of filth. If you can't even take care of a scrap of meat, you're unworthy to be part of my body. The man voices his displeasure as he raises his hand. His coat lifts like a mantle. Something's odd. With a splash, the black dog's remains liquefy and disappear into the man's coat. Ah, I can't even scream. Below the man's coat is pure darkness, without even the traces of an outline. All that exists there is a mud-like darkness. This is dangerous. This guy is just too dangerous. My instincts sound the alarm wildly in my head, but I can't even lift a finger. The man in the black coat approaches me. It's not good if I just stay there. The unstopping headache grows to an unbearable level, telling me this place is dangerous. Whatever he means, if I don't get out of here soon, I am going to lose my life. But it's too late. The man is right before me. Those eyes aren't looking at me at all. Feed. He raises one of his arms. Below it lies a chaotic darkness. From there, something huge appears. Whomp. The sound of wind. That which has appeared from below the man's coat is a crocodile's mouth, easily large enough to swallow a man whole. Ah! My consciousness bursts. In a panic, I slash at the crocodile's mouth, but it's a futile act. There is a squishing sound. I fall onto the floor. Ha ha ha! My throat is broken. I'm not breathing. I'm throwing up blood. Blood sprays from my throat in time with the beating of my heart. Oh, whoops. My consciousness is splitting. The pain is obliterating my thought looking. I see that the right side of my stomach is basically non-existent. Oh, that's bad. Arkwood didn't save us this time. Am I owned? Shiki! I can hear a voice, but I can't hear it very well. Not very impressive for a guard dog of... Oh, I'm sorry, that's Nero speaking. Not very impressive for a guard dog of yours. The man's voice. I can't believe a vampire named Chaos would play such trivial games. It's like a poorly scripted nightmare, Nero Chaos. Arkwood's voice. I feel the same way. To catch one of the surviving true ancestors. I never dreamed I would be a part of such a foolish festival. This is a nightmare for me, too. The man's deep voice. But what is the meaning of this? I've heard the previous executor could not even scratch you. What kind of a mistake is this? Right now your presence is exceedingly weak, even weaker than a mere member of the dead. Were you attacked by the church before I arrived, Arkwood Brunstad? I can't hear Arkwood's voice. It is difficult to understand. There are only a limited number of conceptual weapons capable of harming you. Sorry, I thought it was Ark for a second, but it's Nero. The only people in possession of those are the church's assassins, and I don't think the burial agency would dispatch anyone this far east. Either way, this is most fortunate for me. I shall not ask why you have been awakened. Or weakened. All I am going to do is claim your head while I have a chance of winning. The sound of footsteps. It seems despite having said he was going to claim her head, the man in the black coat is now leaving for the elevator. I don't understand. It's just so hot. My consciousness blurs and fades. Oh, I'm okay. Everything's fine. Are you awake? Arkwood? I open my half-lidded eyes. Arkwood is there in front of me. It appears we're in the hotel hallway. How do you feel? I think I've managed to close the wound, but I suppose it still hurts. Yeah, that thing took a bite out of me like Scruff McGruff took a bite out of crime. Close the wound? That's not possible. The injury I received from that thing wasn't even what you would call a wound. It took half my torso away with it. It's odd enough that I'm still alive, but for the wound to have closed, that would be practically miraculous. Huh? How come I'm still alive? I get up and check my body. There isn't any pain. The right side of my stomach is back to as it was before, though it does seem rather black and blubbery. What did you say? What is this? I point towards a soft, blubbery thing on my stomach. It's true that there's no pain and that I'm feeling a surge of strength there, but I have the feeling that I saw something similar just a moment ago. I hope it's just my imagination. Yeah, that is a familiar Nero was using to reinforce his body. You killed it when it got you, right? It was still alive, so I decided to use it to replace your damaged parts. Sure, I guess it can work like that. Familiar? So you mean the crocodile that came out from that man's coat? That's right. Isn't that great, Shiki? It's just that part, but you've powered up. Argo gives a genuinely happy laugh. For me, of course, this is no laughing matter. What the heck have you done? What were you thinking attaching weird stuff to someone's body like that without even asking? What do you mean? I helped you, didn't I? I can't heal others, and you would have died if I left you out like that. Or would you have rather have died? Well, I'm thankful you helped me, but how am I supposed to live with a body like this from now on? Ah, don't worry about that. Once a familiar has been severed from its master, it's just a scrap of flesh. It's a bit unstable in form at the moment, but in time it'll begin to imitate the properties of your body, and you'll be back to normal. Plus, it'll be tougher than your body's ever been up until now, Shiki. Okay, sure, yeah, I guess you're kind of a meat cyborg now. If you study magic, you might even be able to return it to the original crocodile form. Arkwood says, sounding more envious than happy. Aren't you a lucky boy? You've got a crocodile stomach now. Aren't you happy, Shiki? No, I wish you'd been wounded all over. There's no way I can be happy with having something like this put onto me. No way. You're not happy, Shiki? Not one bit. Well, I suppose I could survive saying this, but I don't want to survive by this method ever again. Okay, I'll make do with a different method next time. Arkwood mumbles a response. Is she repenting? Or did she not learn anything? I seriously cannot tell from a line like that. Well, it's alright. I was just shocked at first because it was so sudden, but you did help me, Arkwood. That's one thing I'm really thankful for. Really? That's an odd thing to thank me for, Shiki. I haven't done much. It's okay. I'm thankful, so be thanked. But you don't have to feel bad about it. Yeah, you're right, I suppose. Arkwood seems lost in thought for some reason. Okay. Anyhow, let's get out of here right now. With all the fuss that's been raised, it's going to get inconvenient if we stay here any longer. All the fuss? Ah, that's right. None of the people in this hotel are alive anymore. I get up. My stomach doesn't hurt, but it feels as if my body belongs to someone else and my mind swims. Yeah, just make that an alternate melted character. Shiki who learned magic and can summon crocodiles. We'll head to my room for now, but Shiki... My mind sways. Arkwood is saying something, but I can't hear a thing. As if I'm falling into an abyss, I lose consciousness, this time, for real. Good night, Shikitono. Ah, the Black Beast too. Thump. Right next to me, I feel someone's heartbeat. My eyes and ears don't seem to be working, but I know quickly that it is Arkwood. Thump. My own heartbeat. Maybe it's because of the terror I've never felt before combined with being on the verge of death. Black. I feel like this thick blood which was hiding somewhere is now surging through my body. Thump. Even though Arkwood's body is cool to the touch, he has the definite warmth of a living being. Just being held like this calms my once raging heart. Thump. My heart beats stronger. Blood containing a strong will that seems to not be mine circulates through my body. But that's odd. How can blood that's not mine stay hidden within me for so long? Investigators believe the cause of Takada Yoichi's motorcycle accident was a malfunction in the brake pedal, which occurred while he was descending a steep hill. Fortunately, no one was killed in the accident. A newscaster's voice flows from the speaker. That voice wakes me from my slumber. Where am I? A large room I don't recognize. I take that back. I do recognize this place. I've been in this room once before. It's Arkwood's room. I am lying in bed covered by sheets. It's about past noon. Arkwood doesn't seem to be anywhere in the room, and uninteresting news fills the air. See, the first time we did this, it was Arkwood who got bit, and Shiki was taking care of her in her bed. So the roles are a little reversed. Where did Arkwood go? And I sense someone's presence in the kitchen. In the kitchen? I get out of bed. Curious, I check my stomach for wounds, but it's perfectly healed. I touch it timidly. If I scratch it, I feel the scratch. If I pinch it, it hurts. It looks like that black blubbery thing has really become part of my body. Well, for now, I can't comment much on it. More importantly, I have to ask Arkwood about what happened in the hotel. Hey, Ark, next on the news, a massive number of people went missing in the early morning hours at a hotel in southern Minami Yashirogi City. I stop dead in my tracks. My eyes become glued to the newscaster on the television set. 103 people staying at the hotel are still unaccounted for. Furthermore, bloodstains could be seen within the hotel, and the police are beginning to suspect that they were involved in some kind of a crime. What are you saying? Bloodstains? It wasn't something that small and cute. The newscaster reads off the script with a disinterested tone. The screen switches to the scene of the hotel I stayed at earlier, and then a listing of the names of the 103 missing people. Of course, neither mine nor Arkwood's name are on the list. Furthermore, a large amount of wild animal hair was found within the hotel. It is presumed that the hair is connected with the suspect in some way. Some of the confirmed hair samples appear to be from a large breed of dog, wolves, and there was also evidence of a bear. There were numerous different hair samples found on the scene. Ridiculously, what appeared to be shark bites were also reported from the scene. Click. I switch off the television set. 100 people. About 100 people back then. In just half an hour, they were all brutally killed. Bloodstains? Unaccounted for? How can you say that when you have that much information? I understand completely. Everyone staying in the hotel was killed by those incomprehensible beasts devoured without a trace. Ugh, I resist the urge to throw up. I can't allow myself to vomit when I recall each and every event which occurred last night. Such a petty sympathy would set me lower than a filthy pig. For me, the only one who escaped death in that hotel, I won't allow anything else other than hatred for the one behind it all. 100 people. 100 people killed without even leaving their bodies behind, only blood. The face of the man in the black coat surfaces in my memory. I don't know who he is, but it is no mistake to think he's behind everything that happened. Is my heart still numb? Right now, hatred wins out over fear and disgust, or maybe even the feelings whirring inside my chest are just another kind of fear. That's just ridiculous. I grit my teeth. I don't know if it is regret or fear or maybe an unpleasant revulsion, but just recalling the face of the man in the black coat makes me want to break something and irritates me. You're awake, Shiki? Arkwood pokes her head out of the kitchen. Oh, what is it? Making such a scary face. Did something happen? Arkwood speaks lightly as if nothing happened at all. The feelings which were welling forth inside me until just now disappear. Arkwood, shouldn't you be asleep right now? It's the middle of the day. That's true, but there's no way I could sleep while your condition wasn't stable. And I was thinking I slept yesterday, so it's your turn today. That's how it works, for sure. Yeah. Thanks. For some reason, I feel embarrassed and look away. Even though she's not human, she really is attractive. Anyway, Arkwood, why did I sleep in your room? That man in the black coat you called Nero, what exactly is he? You're here because I brought you here. Shiki, you lost consciousness in that hotel hallway. I remembered that vaguely. But why did that Nero guy leave? He seemed to be saying something terrible. That's because the sun was rising. By the time you and I had left the hotel, it was above the horizon. You remember that vampires lose their power in sunlight, right? She speaks like she's talking about a third party, but she's a vampire herself. Arkwood, you say that, but doesn't that go for you too? That is, you said after I killed you, you became weak, right? Did your body recover a little? Yes, thanks to you. I'm feeling better than I was yesterday. I'm finally able to move my arms and legs around, too. Finally able to move her arms and legs around? Don't tell me. Wait a second, Arkwood. You mean you weren't able to move around fully before? Huh, I didn't mention it? Most of my nerves weren't connected yet, so I was moving them using my willpower rather than physically. Sure, okay. She didn't say. I never thought about or even noticed her precarious state. I remember how Arkwood bit her lip regretfully when that blue crow arrived. I think at that time she really must have been frustrated she couldn't move no matter how much she wanted to. That's why she just stood there. I see. So how much have you recovered now? Let's see. I can at least move my body. My body will be fine by tonight. But I'm not able to gain back the power I used when I regenerated myself, so it doesn't change my weakened state. Her face is expressionless as she speaks those words. I see. Even if it's only little by little, I'm glad you're getting better. I sigh from heartfelt relief. Oh, what's wrong, Shiki? And just a little earlier you were calling me a monster. Idiot, I still think you are, but that's something else. I just wanted to thank you for helping me. I saved you, Shiki? Arkwood's eyes widened in surprise. It seemed she wasn't even aware of it. Yeah, I have a few problems with your method, but you did save me. So it's a little late, but thanks. If you weren't there, I would have joined the list of 103 names. Thanks. It wasn't really anything. I'm the reason you met Nero, so you don't have to feel like you owe me. Maybe, but the truth is that you saved me. Since you did, I want to thank you. But if I didn't make you watch over me, you never would have been involved in all that. I'm the one messing up your everyday life. So wouldn't it be more appropriate for you to hate me rather than be indebted to me? Well, certainly I do think you're a big bother. But you know, in the end, I think I have to take responsibility for my actions. No more running away. Mustn't run away, mustn't run away. A long, long time ago, someone taught me this. She said whatever happens around me, I have to stick with things I started to the very end. While it seems quite natural, I am a supporter of that idea. Which is why I don't hate Arkwood. I just feel like I'm involved in something pretty bothersome. Oh, now that you mention it, I did say I needed a shield because you killed me. So I guess I don't have to apologize for involving you in such things. Right. The situation I'm in is my own fault. Your fault, huh? I think you have bad luck, Shiki. If only you killed some other girl other than me, things never would have ended up like this. Hey! In the first place, you can't just assume I would kill someone other than you, Arkwood. There is a lot of Arkwood in this for what's supposed to be Seal's route. I think the thing is, I don't know if I'd call it, if you could call it a problem, but so much of this plot revolves around Arkwood that it's hard not to just, like, not have her here, right? Like, you can't really have both Nero and Roa are tied to Arkwood's backstory, so you can't really fight them without her. I'm sure it'll get more, hopefully it'll get more different as we go on. I've only felt like that, stalked and killed only once, only Arkwood. Or I want to think she would be the only one. Do you remember something you forgot? No, that's not it. I never really thought about it before, but I just wondered why I wanted to kill you. Arkwood frowns as she looks at me. Well, it's a natural reaction. I, the one who killed Arkwood, is saying that he doesn't know why he killed her. Yeah, I know the remake created something much more different for Seal, and I do think that's probably for the better. There's no reason at all, right? Because you're just a born killer, Shiki. Huh? Hold on. Wait, did this woman just say about me? You seemed really used to it when you attacked me. You rang the doorbell, put your hand through the door as it opened, and entered. It was a little Yoshikage Akira-esque. While I was still off guard with surprise, you killed me with your first strike and just finished off by slicing me into pieces. Yeah, your surprise attack was perfect. How perfect was it? A painting of you from that time would have been an unparalleled masterpiece. That's how perfect it was. But no matter how superb a killer, no matter how excellent your technique, the victim this time was a poor choice. I don't know how many people you killed until now, but I think it was time for you to be caught when you chose me as your prey. What's with that scary face all of a sudden? If you want to say something, it's better just to say it. We've never held anything back between us, right? That may be true. I nod and motion her to come near me with my hand. A secret? Arkwood approaches excitedly. I bring my mouth close to her ear and clearly state what I want to say. You know, Arkwood... Yeah, what? Okay, ready? That's not it at all, you idiot! Idiot, idiot, idiot. My shout echoes through the room. I strike her eardrums with full power, not holding back one bit. Ow, owie! Arkwood exaggeratedly covers her ears. I'm ticked off now. What are you doing all of a sudden, Shiki? I'm the one who should be angry. I was wondering why you were asking me all these impossible things, but now I understand. Understand what? About you asking me to be your shield against a monster and watching over you because you think I'm some crazed killer. Geez, you're unbelievably mistaken. You thought so highly of me because of that. Look, I'll tell you right now. I'm not a killer or a homicidal maniac. You were the first person I killed. Arkwood's mouth hangs open. Damn it, she really does seem totally surprised. No way. It was your first time and you were that skilled? Haha. Yeah. Certainly, I do have the strange eyes, but I still lived an honest life. I never even thought of once using these lines to kill people. But then why did you kill me? You never even saw me before. You wish this had voice acting just to hear Ark say owie? I know the remake has voice acting, doesn't it? I don't know why either. I just became so fixated when I saw you on the street. When I came to, I had already sliced you into pieces. It does? Cool. In this room. Without reason, without purpose. I see. Yeah, I see. I don't have any right to be angry at Arkwood, even if she's alive right now and isn't human. The truth is, I killed her with my own hands. Why are you all quiet again? What do you mean, Shiki? I'm sorry, I have to apologize. Why did I conveniently forget such an important thing? Sorry. I'm sorry, Arkwood. Tono Shiki, killed you. More than anything else, I should have apologized for that from the very beginning. There really is something wrong with me. It's only natural she mistook me for a killer, because I don't even understand that impulse myself. So maybe Tono Shiki might be a real killer. The reality is, I killed you. So I have to accept my sin and punishment. A killer like me can't mix in with the rest of society. Not realizing such an important thing until now is just too cowardly. No matter what Arkwood is, I am someone who kills for no reason. Full voice acting for everything outside of Shiki's monologues? That's interesting. I see. Then you really don't understand why yourself, Shiki. I nod silently. Then you didn't feel any enjoyment either? Yes, certainly there are those killers for whom killing is like breathing, but you really are normal, Shiki. I don't know about that. That's right. At least I try to be. No, you are incredibly normal. Then I was the only one you wanted to kill? Yeah, other than you, I've never felt like that before. I see. Then there's no problem. You're not a real killer, Shiki. She says this lightly, almost dismissively. I don't think you have to receive any punishment. By chance, I was the one you wanted to kill, and worse, you were equipped with this unparalleled killing technique. Yeah, I don't think Arkwood is a good judge of normalcy. She's not exactly the queen of normal herself. But luckily, I am a vampire, so no one died, right? So you don't need to be troubled so much. I don't think you have to worry about those morals of human society. Right now, the only ones who could condemn you are me, the victim, and you, yourself. That may be so, but it doesn't change the fact that I killed you. Right. Even if there is no punishment, the sin will never disappear. Of course. Even now, I still resent it, so it would be troubling if you just forgot. But you know, Shiki, if you feel that way and will always regret it, then I don't think there will be a problem. But that's just sugarcoating it. Shiki, there really are people who will not sell their souls to the devil even if they hated the world. Like, someone so honest they could apologize to a vampire. So I think it's alright. No matter what people say, and no matter how much you say you're not, you can still stay in the world you want to live in. I'm speechless. How can you smile and say that to the person who killed you? Arkwood. Come on, we have a much more troublesome problem to worry about. Now that you are up, Shiki, I want to continue our conversation from before. That's right. More important than my own situation, I have to know about Arkwood and what happened at that hotel. That's right. Arkwood, can I ask about the hotel from yesterday? Fine, but we don't have to stay standing. Shiki, if your body isn't quite fully adjusted, maybe you should lie down. Idiot. You're the one who should be lying down. Isn't daytime hard for you? Don't worry about me. Lie down and we can talk. It's okay. I finally have a chance to talk to you, so it would be a waste if it wasn't face to face. Arkwood smiles faintly and looks directly at me. Well, if you say you're fine, then I don't really care either way. After briefly looking away, I sit on the bed. Arkwood imitates me and sits on a sofa. Well, I'll ask then. The guy last night, the one you called Nero, just what the hell is he? I'm being serious here, so please don't say something like he's a magician who can make crocodiles appear from his body. Well, it's not far off. I won't say that. I think you know this already, but he is also a vampire. We call him Nero, and he is quite an exception. To tell the truth, he isn't someone you could talk to so casually like this. So he was a vampire after all. But for some reason, like Arkwood sitting in front of me, he doesn't match my image of a vampire either. So this Nero, what kind of guy is he? You seem to know him or something. Of course not. I don't have any vampire acquaintances. Knowing them means I'm going to kill them the next instant. This is the first time I ever met a vampire without killing it. But you guys were talking about a lot of things. It would be hasty to call him an acquaintance because of that. Nero was a famous vampire, so no introductions were necessary when we met, that's all. Isn't it natural to know the name of vampires with unusual power and a long history? Among those, Nero stands out even more. Despite being one of the oldest vampires, he has neither a castle nor a territory and is an eccentric wanderer. The church has given him a second name, Chaos. Chaos? What's that? Literally squirming, squelching chaos. Like a primordial earth where no one knows what will fly out after the mixing of various things. A meaning, I'm guessing, from last night. Not knowing what will fly out? Geez, you saw his body too, Shiki. We spoke of it earlier, but aged vampires cannot easily regenerate damage to their bodies. To restore the body after centuries of existence, the weak life of a human isn't enough. So using the simply more... Okay. Alright. I'm gonna... I know this isn't... The game isn't regarding this as an old scene, but this is just the Nero lore that's pretty long. And I'm just gonna skip through it a little bit if that's okay. We've already read this lore about Nero. You can watch the Arch of Dogs, yeah. Can't capacity limits, but we find out later Nero's a weirdo. Haha, so you think it's 20 or 30, but not really. It's another funny number. Da, da, this is the Lord dump music. I like this Arkwood sprite a lot though, with the angry eyes. Yes, he's always watching us with his funny crows. He's coming tonight and we're gonna fight him in the park. He's crazy. She looks like Joey Wheeler when she does that pose. Come on. I guess a little bit. Shiki has his eyes. He can kill anyone. Okay, what is this? What is this choice here? Bop, bop. Okay, let me look at this flowchart again. Okay. So... Okay. Let's see what this response gets us, because I know which one I chose last time. We'll save. I refuse. I can't stand up to that monster. She told me to be her shield and watch over her while she sleeps, but I couldn't even do that well. Even if I were to fight with her, I could probably just get in the way. Arkwood, sorry, but I can't. He's too different. Even if I fought him, I wouldn't even be able to scratch him. What? Really? I'm not sure where she gets that from, but she tilts her head as if she's doubting me. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but I can't do it. Our promise was just for me to watch over you for one night. I don't want to have anything more to do with that monster. It may be too late. Nero met you. Even if you are no longer with me, I don't think he would leave you alone. She speaks lightly as if discussing some third party. What? I blurt out and then I understand. The vampire Nero is the one killing people in this town. There's no reason for him to leave me alone once I saw his face. But I am faster than Nero. He cannot move during the day and you're right in front of me, so it's overwhelmingly in my favor. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking if you're going to run away, I would just kill you here. Funny, very funny. Arkwood smiles as she jokes around, but she also seems serious. Her smile doesn't fade. She really seems intent on coercing me. You devil. I'm trapped. If I'm going to be attacked either way, then there's no other choice but to help Arkwood. I look up at the ceiling and take a deep breath. Fortunately, that prepares me just a bit for what is to come. Okay, I'm ready. Come to think of it, there was no running away from the time I met you. Coming this far, I guess I have no choice but to go all the way. Alright, so this is where the fight with Nero's coming up. And we have to wait a couple times. Was it once or twice? Yeah, it was just the once. Okay. Let's get his ass. Oops. Hang on. Okay. There's a proceed to next choice button if I press don't skip. Whoops. Alright. We have defeated Nero. Good job, everybody. I'm exhausted. I collapse on the ground. I fall on my rear and try to keep my body up with my hands. My right hand finally lets go of my knife. Cold. I'm cold. The pain is numbed. It feels almost uncomfortable. My body is ripped with canine bite marks and beak marks. Well, there's no mistake that I'll probably die like this. Shiki! Arkwood's voice. Run! You're getting targeted! Arkwood shouts as she dashes towards me. I stare up at the night sky as I sit. There I see the white moon and the figure of a blue crow. It screams as it falls straight towards me. It drops down to pierce my brain with its sharp beak. I try and stand up to escape, but my body is at its limit. I try to stand, but only end up collapsing on the ground. Because I fell on my back, I get a disturbingly clear view of the crow. Oh, wait, did I choose something wrong again? It dived just like a bullet towards my face, and with the sound of sliced flesh, it dies right before my eyes. Oh no, this is just newness. Okay. The blue crow was impaled by a flying nail, which looks like a large sword. It had to have come from somewhere above. I look up at the night sky. There is the white moon. Ah, so we get this pose at a different time, because she does this pose the first time we met Roa in the other route. So CL is showing up faster. Or, well, she did show up at the end of the fight with Nero, but not like this. And there's someone dressed in black. Oh, wait, no. No, she didn't. Sorry, my memory's faulty. And there's someone dressed in black, priest-like garments. The figure stands on a streetlight and stares down at me. Despite just being almost killed, I vacantly think those high-lace boots look really cool. Ha! Yeah, well, he's right. They are cool. The figure doesn't say anything. The emotionless eyes resemble the sharp moonlight. The figure really resembles Senpai. My mind swims. Caw! The crow's death cry, and I close my eyes quietly. I keep bleeding. In my groggy state, I can hear Arquid and someone else arguing. I cannot leave it to you. I will heal him. A horribly hostile voice. Don't do anything you shouldn't. This is mine, so it doesn't concern you. Arquid sounds the same too. She sounds the same, but I wish she wouldn't selfishly make me her object. I wish women wouldn't treat me as anything other than objects, but as a gamer, I get no respect. Yes, this certainly does not concern me right now. However, I do not think you can heal such wounds. All you can do is watch him die. Or, do you intend on making this young man one of your subordinates, Arquid Burns said. Do you think I would do such a thing? I can hear more than hostility in their voices. The girls are fighting! There's so much tension, I expect another to fight to the death to start. Then please be quiet. With these wounds, he cannot last long. I really hate you. You should just disappear before I kill you. I really hate you as well. You don't need to tell me anything. I plan on leaving once his wounds are healed. You should yourself disappear before I kill you. I can't stand seeing you around. A conversation full of tension and hostility. Ooh, the girls are fighting! My mind goes totally blank. Hard. Yeah, it's hard. I feel something hard against my back, and it causes me to wake with a start. Huh? Arquid? I look around. I'm in the park, lying on a bench. I look at the park's clock, and it's past 1 in the morning. I guess it hasn't even been an hour since then. Arquid looks at me wordlessly. Or maybe it's more like a glare. Arquid? Arquid doesn't respond. I don't know why, but she seems really angry. There. For now, I stand up. Oh, my wounds are healed. I was so bloody and cut up, but there isn't a single scar anywhere. There isn't any pain either, as if my fight with Nero was all a dream. But that was no dream. Then this must be Arquid. Don't tell me you used another part of Nero's body again? No, unfortunately not. It would have been a quick fix and you would have gotten stronger with it too. But since you killed Nero completely, we can no longer use his body. Really? I guess you healed me in another way then. Wow, I really am back to normal. I don't feel any pain or dizziness. Just how in the world did you do it, Arquid? I don't know. I wasn't the one who healed you. She exclaims and looks away, displeased. It seems that that's the reason. But if she wasn't the one to heal me, then just who did? Ah, there was another person. Someone who helped me. That woman in black garments who resembled Senpai far too much. Arquid, where is that person from before? Still looking displeased, she looks away and ignores me. Hey, Arquid, I'm asking you what happened to that person from before. I don't know. I didn't see anyone. She turns away and pretends not to know. She's so catty. Hey, you just said you weren't the one who helped me. If it wasn't you, then who else could have done it? Oh, enough already. I said I don't know, so I don't know. Oh, it seems she's taking it out on me. In the first place, why are you so interested in that person? It doesn't have anything to do with you, right? There is something. It was dark. I couldn't really tell, but that person looked like someone I know. That's just a coincidence. Just forget about that person. If you talk about it again in front of me, I'll really get mad. Ending quickly, she looks away. Why are you so angry? I should be the one getting angry. I just want to know who that person from before was, that's all. Fine, I got it. I won't ask any more. Besides, our partnership ends here anyway. Isn't it obvious? We defeated the vampire who did as he pleased in this town, so my responsibility is gone now. I have to get back home soon, or Akia will yell at me. I think it's about time to cut it off, Arquid. You're right. Now that you mention it, it's already this late, too. Arquid nods. Alright. I also nod in understanding. I nod out of understanding, but there's still something lingering, as if I regret parting with her. Almost as if there's another timeline where she could be my vampire GF. That's ridiculous. She's a vampire, and I'm a normal human. If I associated with her anymore, something will happen that I can't take back. Bye, Arquid. Raising a hand, I step away. There was a lot of horrible things that happened, but it was pretty fun too, so, take care of yourself. Yeah, it is late and you have to get back home. Good night. Till next time, Chiki. I think she just said something odd. I tried to say, this is the last time, idiot, but I stopped myself. Well, there are a lot of problems, but she is quite an interesting person. I speak as if trying to convince myself, but it's the truth. So even if it is just once in a while, I feel like if by some chance we got to meet again, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Alright, we're back. We're back at the mansion. I return to the mansion. It's about 2 in the morning, and there's not a single light on in the mansion. I have to sneak in. I climb over the fence and enter the garden. Fortunately, the door is open, and I am able to enter inside without waking anyone. I get back to my room and take a deep breath. It's over. I truly feel all the events of these past 3 days, all that strange things, are actually finished. Well then, time for bed. I sink my tired body into bed and fall asleep. Or at least, I intended to. But I just can't sleep. My mind and body are tired, but I can't stop thinking about that figure, and I can't sleep. It couldn't have been Senpai, but she resembles Senpai so much. I couldn't get a look at her face, so I can't say for sure. So, I think it's just my mistake. Tomorrow, I'll ask her at school. Yeah, that's right. I can see her at school anytime, so I'll just ask her then. Then she can just say, that wasn't me, and I'll be alright. Alright, that's what I'll do. It's decided. Now then, if I just read a boring book, I'll probably fall asleep. Oh, that's a new background. Immortality. If those words are to be a grand reality, it would be one of the things which would define eternity. But in reality, nothing in existence has reached that level. For example, those vampires occasionally spoken of in legends are not immortal. After all, they are defective because they require stealing from others to exist. Furthermore, the fact that their supplemental parts have to be part of the same species, in this case, generally referring to humans, means that they are not versatile at all. They call themselves the transcendent race, but that is not evolution, it is degeneration. Wait, what? Is Shiki reading this right now? What is this? Who is this speaking? That which cannot function independently in perpetuity cannot be called eternal. It is presumptuous to call something immortal if it depends on others to halt its aging. There already exists something close to perfection which can function independently in perpetuity. It feeds on itself and multiplies. It has no such thing as a lifespan. Old cells become food as nutrients and new cells are produced from it, such as a jellyfish. However, it is perpetual only because it has no intelligence. If having no intelligence is fine, then it is no different from gaining eternity by death. If you want to be eternal living as a human, it is impossible by the method of immortality. Long years destroy the body and wear away flexibility of the mind. Immortality or eternity? I have no attachment to stained immortality. Persistently maintaining individuality makes eternity unattainable. Instead of gaining immortality as a single human, I chose the infinity. Oh, wait, I think I know who's talking now. I chose the infinity in which I continue to exist eternally. I see. Certainly a different approach than I. However, with your method, will you not lose eternity at the extinction of the human race? Your method always requires an unborn child other than yourself. Yes, that is true. But if no other humans existed, I would not be able to confirm my own self. So, if humans become extinct, then continuing to live would be worthless. At that point, my immortality would end. I do not understand your theory. That is far from the thesis of eternity, serpent. No, it is eternity. When a time comes to perish, everything should perish. If observers cease to exist, then that means everything is unchanging. This is very, what's the psychologist, philosopher guy I'm thinking of who said something like this? Was it Jung who talked about this sort of thing? Like, if you can't be observed, then you don't exist? Or maybe that was just Plato. The shadow on the cave was Plato, but I don't know if that's the same thing. Regardless, the eternity I embody is temporary until that time occurs. I cannot turn everything into nothingness, therefore I will continue living until it happens. Although, I have found yet another amusement. Is that why you called me? Yes, I will show you a mystic method which allows you to slightly shape what is inside of you. There is someone I wish for you to catch using this achievement from the Age of the Gods, Chaos. Yeah, that was Roa talking to Nero, I guess. Day 5, Red Residue. Oh, this is new. I don't think it was named that before. But we have been going for about 4 hours now. We saw plenty of new content, so I think that's a good place to stop for tonight. We'll read more next week. I don't know how quickly we'll get through CL's route. There is a lot of stuff we can skip, but not as much as I thought. I thought there would be a lot more skipping, so we'll see. That said, we are much further along in the broad category of the main plot than we were the first night of Arkwood's route. So that probably says something. Like we only got up to the hotel during Arkwood's route. So so that's where we'll stop tonight. Look forward to Type Lumina tomorrow. That'll be fun. Yeah, a nice follow-up to Tsukihime with Melty Blood. And yeah, I'll be practicing my red Arkwood as usual. And also the patch comes out tomorrow, so we'll be checking out some of the changes. Red Arc only got something very small, but also there's some nice online functionality that was updated. So that'll just be nice to experience. Why don't we raid fellow VTuber FGC enthusiast Serena Penguina? She's playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's awesome. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 rules. You should go watch her. So, thank you everybody for watching. Look forward to Melty tomorrow night. Good night.